traditionally waiting for YouTube to launch. And it's there. Excellent. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the bonfire. And here is Andy with Disco Elysium, the final cut, investigation stage number 13. And let's go back to our detectives, where we who are now in a very special location, and the previous stream actually left us in a lot of funny circumstances, and I think we got into places where we weren't supposed to get so early, and have been messing around with different locations and things, and oh my god, it's not the end. We have some more locations to explore. It's basically endless. Oh my god. And I so regret forgetting that thought that gave us 10 cents for each green orb. Anyway, let's start the exploration. I thought I would play the Sinking City today, because I bought the game finally for my stream, and I just thought that maybe not today exactly, but I just, you know, wanted to see what happens next with our investigators, with our police officers. And at the same time, the weather in the street is so Lovecraftian, you know. It's so compelling. The rain, the storm, the clouds, everything for Oakmont. But I think we'll spend some time with Harry and Kim, and then maybe we'll switch to the Sinking City, or it just will be my future stream. So, what do we have? Investigate doomed commercial area. Search for the malignant entity. I think it's that person behind the curtains, but we need to have more endurance, more health to be able to damage ourselves. By the way, I was thinking about that, and do we have some way to improve our endurance? Do we have some maybe item that increases our endurance? Suggestion, shivers. I'm still wearing this jacket. Why? I should wear conceptualization. Yeah, and now it's good. Gloves. Yeah, that looks okay. Some money. The orb. Cellar window. People's feet shuffling by on the street. What? Are we underground now? I thought we are on the top. Well, of course we are on the underground. Of course, because the fridge was supposed to be in the underground. Intercom wires running into the breaker box. Insane mesh tank top. +1 drama. That is to replace, I guess, our short, which gives us conceptualization. It's this perfect. Oh, look at that. No, not for now. Maybe later. But that's an amazing piece of clothes. Another door. Another entrance. Okay, later. Let's first loot the place. Inside we have money and Nosafat, +1 health. Excellent. A frozen ice cream maker that's still running. I thought I'd have to buy Nosafat, but I mean, I probably will buy it still, but at least now we don't have to go to the shop, and we can just storm through that door with this item. The flashlight casts a strange shadow. There is a hidden doorway there. So something else. 2 rusty rifles are hidden above the piping. They look inoperable. Someone has stuck some busted guns beneath the ceiling. Okay, and a hole. A hole in the wall. Later. First I want to explore all the orbs. An ice cream maker, defrosted and unplugged. Ice cream maker. The bear is to interact with, and this one contains magnesium again. Why is so much magnesium? How many charges I have? 16. Can you imagine that? I can damage myself morally endlessly. The wall collapsed. It's inaccessible now. So we came from here, and there is another entrance which I want to check out, because the reason that I'm spending so much time in this doomed commercial center is that I don't know if I'm going... I mean, now I can't come back here after 9 o'clock, that is after the bookshop closes. If I find a way to go to this business center without entering the bookshop, then I'll probably come back at 9 o'clock and do some more important business for the investigation. Like that. So, we can enter at 9 o'clock. Perfect. Excellent. Nice.
An old callbox. East Delta Commerce Center. This must be the name of the doomed commercial area.
Wax cylinder. I think we did it just to see what would happen, but
An old
let's...
East Delta Commerce.
No, not now. Not now. At night, when we have more time, which will be not affecting our playthrough. So, what could we do? Look for Ruby on the coast. Spirit is eternal. Ask cab leader about tattoos. Inspect the traps. Tell Morel about that. Dead body on the boardwalk. Examine the library card you found on the dead man. Call the station about the dead body. Yeah. Guard. The shot came from... We still didn't... It's strange. Check boardwalk for bullet traces. Do I have not enough perception? Like, we were on the boardwalk. We spent there, like, a lot of time. Like, several hours of real time. Of lifetime. And that wasn't triggered. That's not crossed. Interesting. Ask Classy about Sunday night. Yeah, we have to find her before 9 o'clock, because she disappears after that. Lowdown, that's with Joyce. Joyce is up at night. Find the murder weapon. Locate a working firearm that shoots 4.46 ammo. I don't know where I should find that. Track down your badge. Oh, look. Not many missions left. Track down your badge. Maybe it's perception. Add even more beauty to the wall. I need to find a brush for that. Find the traffic hooligan. It's me, I guess, but I have to talk to that guy. When? He gave me some task. Did he? Sorry, there is a thunder. That's about the car that is... Yeah, the task was to inspect the broken vehicle, and that we'll do at night. Run the number on the victim's armor. I think we can do it now, but at night it's also possible. Who put the clothes in the trash? Who else has unauthorized access to the Berlin trash? Find this person you'll know who tampered with the scene. It may take a while. Find booze and drink it. Sing karaoke. We have a song for that, but we can do that at night. What was that? Something triggered? No. Something still appears here, so there should be some skill check that we aren't able to see because of some of our parameters missing. Alright, who should we have a conversation with? I guess the protest leader? He is the one? Or I also have to shop for some Nosafat, because anything can kill us and we don't want death to come, right? I don't want to spend a skill point on endurance. Skill points are more expensive than money. So, what's that? The yellow roses in the window, those aren't the flowers that were left for Classy. Flowers that were left for Classy. Interesting.
The tear machine stands in the corner. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now.
2.40. That's impressive, considerable.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big Fritta slogan on the back.
What's that? Or I want to buy a raincoat which increases our endurance. I want a raincoat.
Here you go.
The clerk removes the garment from the lower shelf and hands it over. What's that?
What is what? A raincoat? You know, like the one you bought earlier.
The girl leans over the counter to see what you're referring to. Let's leave. Yeah, I just thought if it is possible, and here we go, it is possible. Now we have this raincoat, and we have 2 health points. Full health. Excellent. But back to conceptualization. I don't need so much health for now. I just suspect that there might be some situations where we'll have to have 2 health points, and Nosafat is also for that.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo.
What do those products do?
I don't know. Let's see. Nosafed is a nasal spray. Dramamine is a really good painkiller. Magnesium is a dietary supplement. Hypnogamma is... I don't really know what Hypnogamma is. I guess it makes you feel less shit. It's recommended to use after lots of partying, studying, or exercising.
Can you be a little more specific?
No. Sorry. I'm not like a doctor or anything.
She chews her bubblegum absent-mindedly. Who is Saint Baptiste?
Saint Baptiste. You know, the pharmaceuticals company.
She nods slowly at the cabinet.
Saint Baptiste Pharmaceuticals. The one that sells meds out of Saint Baptiste. That one. There.
She points to the cabinet. She really thinks I'm stupid.
She is right. Saint Baptiste, the company, derives its name from Saint Baptiste, the city. Itself so named because that's what it is. A rare case where that really is the full etymological history. As far as almost anyone knows, at least.
That's why I was trying to exhaust all the options, because I suspected there might be some benefit received, and that experience, and 2 real again. So, Nosafat, Dramamine +3 health, bottle of magnesium, and Hypnogamma +3 morale. That's a lot of morale, but I need Nosafat only.
Okay,
so,
here.
Nosafat.
I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
And 1 more.
Okay, here.
And 1 more.
Okay, here.
1
okay,
more.
Here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
I guess it's enough for today. I mean, enough for surviving today, I meant. We can come back and buy more if something is going to happen. Now, there we have some...
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health.
Let's talk. Please, tell me about these products.
The Pale Age vodka is special, I guess. It's stored in pale for a couple of years, which makes it super expensive and super strong.
What's pale?
You know.
She shrugs, uninterested in explaining it further. Okay, what will consuming this stuff do to my body?
I mean, I already said it'd hurt you. I don't know what else they do.
She stares at you unsure. Do you sell any under-the-counter vices?
No, Frit only sells legal drugs, like the law says.
She fixes her hair underneath her cap. Okay, give me Commodore Red Wine, which gives us what? +1 physique, -1 morale. Pale aged vodka, physique, potent pilsner, physique, morale, and intellect -1 health, substance use, effects. Excuse me, what intellect? I mean, not that I'm totally... Really? Like, to the whole skill line, immediately. That must be impossible, but... Maybe, but no. I don't want to depend on such temporary decisions. So let's go back to the city and then to the mercenary and talk to him, hoping that he would tell us something meaningful, something informative, and won't abuse us badly. Hey.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
Are you a mercenary hired by Wild Pines?
Hell no. I'm just an honest scab. I won't have talk like that around here. You understand?
It just has to be said, that was not a convincing line.
Say very quietly. Is there a tribunal being convened by any chance?
Fucking bug.
He breathes out slowly, his giant chest deflating and his mouth slightly open.
You hear a tiny rattle, a small radio, cracking somewhere. An earpiece? I'm going to interpret that as a yes. There's a tribunal, and it won't be long until it's ready.
How about you fuck off now, huh?
Okay, of course.
Tenant says his voice is soothing calm. He looks at you.
There could be weapons aiming at us right now, somewhere above, in the buildings. The other merc. Don't push this, he's thinking. This is not the time.
Hell no, I'm just an honest scab. That didn't sound too convincing. Okay, let's back off.
The man's breathing steadies, but his eyes are still narrow. Slowly, he's trying to get his right-to-work dance back on.
I think you may be able to help me decipher some tattoos. Take out the picture.
Don't think so.
He grunts, barely glancing at it.
Suddenly, this feels like a really, really bad idea.
They were on the body of the man who was hanging behind the cafeteria there. Give him the photo. It was on your colonel. Give him the photo. We're investigating a murder. These tattoos were on the victim's body. Give him the photo. And of course, yes. Forget about it. Let's just discuss something else. I'm going to go with the second option.
Wordless, he takes the photo and looks at it. Grey eyes dart back and forth on the glossy surface. His face is unmoving. You see dead flesh in colorful rivers of polychrome, melting skin and hair.
Fucking loincloths. Really did him in.
After a while, he cranes his head side to side and sighs. What's that?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what the tattoo means?
What it means.
He points to one tiny star in the web of lines away from man's heart, almost on his stomach.
I can tell you what this one means. Only one. You want to hear what happened here?
He squints at it. It's so small. Yes, of course.
Our colonel is deep in the bush here. Deep in the fucking bush. In Benital, 41. Monsoon season. He's on a reconnaissance mission.
Benital is one of the inhabited islands of the Seminese archipelago near the Pale. Covered in jungle, it was anchor point for the Seminese nationalists in the proxy war held on the islanders' territory.
He spent a month behind enemy lines, scouting kipped villages. Nothing but fucking bugs and snakes for fun. Men are getting restless. There's talk of switching employers.
He licks his lips as if drunk suddenly.
With some strange emotion. This is about to get really graphic. Last moment to back off.
Don't interrupt him. Let's hear it.
Our boy. He's only a captain then, but he knows how these men think. If they don't see action soon.
His voice gets strangely quiet. A long, long way from right to work. His gaze pierces the paper.
At dawn, he comes upon two kids, breeding in the bushes by the river. Or maybe they weren't breeding. Maybe they were just making eyes at each other. I like to think they were breeding. We shot the boy. He was useless, but the girl, she was nice. A little fat, you know, but not too old. She was quite the entertainment for the week she lasted, expired in the hands of Sarge Mason, the kind of guy who'd make Chief there shit his pants and cry like a bitch.
He nods towards the man on the gates.
God. Mason couldn't let go. Cut the tits off her cold body and fucking ate them. Said primitive spirits were watching over him now. Drowned in a creek a week later. Spirits my ass.
Something stirs in your stomach. There's a word on the tip of your tongue. Colorless, odorless. It's...
Evil?
You bet it was.
What is evil?
It's just nature. This guy, he used to say evil is when nature and spirit meet in the wrong place.
He points at the picture. Well, that is quite deep. You were there?
No, I was in the domain, in Jamrock, being a bouncer.
You're not really a scab leader, are you?
Fucking mask is getting sweaty. I want to take my mask off. But...
He shrugs.
He's under orders, and orders are orders.
You can have that, like, the photo. I think... Why would he need a photo of a dead man? Okay, the dead man. Let's suggest that he keeps it.
Nah, you've earned it.
All right now. Free commerce! Keep the goods flowing!
He turns towards the gate slowly and yells. So he didn't agree to accept the photo.
On the photo in your hands, the dead man's skin is studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them, littering his dead skin.
Okay, I'm just going to leave now. But that was something we learned, right? And the story was abominable. But still, that was the story, and that was part of this man's biography. And well, war is not something glorious, and that's what we forget to remember talking about military operations and stuff like that. Measurehead will be here at night. Talk to him later. Let's go and see Mr. Everhart. There is his daughter I mentioned in his office, and that's nice to meet them both. Locations. So much loading. But it's okay. I guess it's okay. There were games in past that took really much time to load, like Gothic 3 when it was released and it wasn't patched properly at that time, and my computer wasn't the top-notch one, and so I had to spend a lot of time waiting for the unsuccessful waiting for the Lord after an unsuccessful attempt to kill some orcs or to hunt. You know, Gothic 3 was really harsh and unforgiving and quite relentless in its approach towards the player, which was quite a different thing when I went to Oblivion, and Oblivion was super fast to load. It just took a couple of seconds, and that really was a shock to me after Gothic 3. Alright, Mr. Everhart is alone without his daughter. That's interesting. What's that orb? This is not a fishing rod. It's, where? This. What is it? Okay.
Mr. Dubois, every worker, member of the board. How can I help you today?
Remember the container I asked you about? Turns out there is a mega rich light bending guy inside.
Mega rich light bending guy? Oh my god. How did that get in there?
He's so rich he could get in anywhere.
Damn it to hell, Harry. I specifically told my guys to check all the containers for mega rich light bending guys.
He slams his fist on the table. Nothing can stop an innovative mind.
Honestly, Harry, we might be moving all kinds of suspicious things through this harbour, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega rich. I have a reputation to protect.
He shakes his head. The mega rich are people too. He was a nice man, gave me stock tips. Or, yes, the transportation of the mega rich should be tightly regulated. Don't seem like he was safe. He should be honored by the presence of this magus. He was half Havashol in blood and amassed his wealth using the mysterious bond of nationhood. No, I think the second option. And the first one was, for God's sake, you're a socialist, but nah.
No, they're not. They're vermin, and one just found a way inside my container. Soon, he'll bring the others. All three of them. Thank you for telling me. I'll see to this immediately. I shudder to think what you're going to tell me next, Harry.
Not for 1 second did he believe there's an actual mega-rich person somewhere in his container town.
Let's check the options about the gun.
Yes. What's that, Harry? You're getting a little pale.
The Hanin.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me.
I sense there is a but.
Harry, had you asked me earlier, I could have used your help in dealing with a certain weasel. It would have really solidified our friendship. Sadly, the moment has passed and the weasel's back in its den. Nothing to do about it now, so get this. I'm just going to give you the information, because I like you, Harry.
The weasel is back in its den. Who could that weasel be? Who was... Open the door. Maybe it was that politician. And we know that he left. Probably, but maybe not.
There's probably more to that.
Wait, who was the weasel?
The time has passed, Harry. Were you not listening when I just said that? Pay attention, please. Now, do you want to hear about the hanging or not?
He wiggles his chubby index finger at you. The weasel thing sounds fun. Wish I could have done that. No, let's be frank. Let's talk about the murder.
Fantastic. Time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry. This is gonna be good.
His fist lands on the desk. I've heard about the connection between the lynching and the strike. I'd like to hear what you know about.
By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps.
I'm listening.
Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire? I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant.
Hold on, you have a village elephant?
No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical and so is the village, but the mercs and their brutality are very real.
Go on.
Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container.
He laughs. Wait, they move the container?
Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it. But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types.
His face turns serious.
One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out and trees.
Oh, that's such a joke. Wow.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers.
He says, ignoring the lieutenant.
We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill.
He raises his finger. Wait, the whole neighborhood is in on it?
Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring into action for their home base.
Who exactly did the pushing?
There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly.
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
The Hardy Boys?
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
Uncertainty belies his boasting. In the end, though, he believes it. Or at least, he wants to believe. So he doesn't want to counter with a narrative that exonerates the Union. But why?
There was a bullet in the handman's head. How do you know the mercenaries were hired by the shipping company? You mentioned a lawyer girl, and tell me about Titus Hardy and his crew.
Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary Union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
He starts laughing.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets.
He's betting on them being useless to you.
You mentioned a lawyer girl.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, She came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal.
How do you know the mercenaries were hired by the shipping company?
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do.
He slams his fist on the desk yet again.
Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes.
Name of the company is XIII this time. It might have been Sediment before.
Of course. You're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because people like me.
The remaining mercenaries are organizing a tribunal to take on the Hardys.
Tribunal? That sounds serious, Harry. We Union men should be shitting ourselves. I wish you hadn't told me that. I'm gonna lose sleep over this. Let's change the subject.
He rubs his chin and smiles suddenly. He doesn't pay attention to what we say.
He's clearly happy about the tribunal.
You don't seem too worried about it.
Oh, Harry, what do I really think about the tribunal? You're trying to climb to second base with old Everard before you've even courted him properly.
He wants you to do more things for him before.
Everhard, I met these Hardys. Can you ask them to cooperate with me?
But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk.
You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real.
Wait, why are you giving it to me?
I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real.
Needless to say, this is another move. Don't take it.
I don't need it. I only wanted you to help me with the Hardy boys.
Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else?
There was a bullet in the hangman's head.
So they shot him.
He sounds pleasantly surprised.
He was shot in the head before he was hanged.
How odd. I don't know what to say, Lieutenant. They told me they hanged him. A hanged man is what I saw when I took a look into that yard.
It's impossible to say if he's telling the truth, sire.
What I do know is, the case is in safe hands. If anyone can get to the bottom of this shot and hanged man, it's my 2 little policemen. Godspeed, policeman.
Good talk, let's conclude for now.
Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike.
He leans back, suddenly worried.
I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yet.
Great sadness comes over him. Yet?
Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't.
He says, slowly shaking his head.
A man of the left. So you have to be a social democrat. He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
I'm not a man on the left, I'm a patriot of Havashol. You're right not to trust me, I take care of me, I'm a hustler, a grind, I'm a money engineer. What's that supposed to mean? I am more left than you are. And this is not a corrupt scheme, isn't it? I'm neither left nor right. I do what my heart tells me to do. Well, the 4th is kind of aggressive. I can say I'm a patriot of Havashol.
Just between us, I don't care for those lefty dinks either. It's all about power, and here's how we're gonna get it. I need you to be my kingsman, Harry.
He immediately changes course.
Kingsman? Yes. Please, let's be that.
Authority.
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
He pulls out an envelope. Kim, what do you think of this?
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
He studies Everhard.
But, he thinks, it's your call.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm gonna hand you the keys to Martinez, and maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing.
He bows his head in shame and looks up and smiles.
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things.
What are the signatures for?
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry.
You mean the fishing village?
Yes, the little cul-de-sac on the coast, where all the men have drowned in either the sea or the bottle. A gloomy place, doesn't have that Union attitude.
What will happen to the current occupants?
They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Are you 100% sure no one's going to end up homeless?
Am I? Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them.
The big man shakes his head in disbelief.
We're gonna build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for all of Martinez, not just the harbour.
He means it.
I'll accept the task now because it doesn't. I mean, I'm sure it's a masquerade thing again, covering some malicious plan. But I am curious who those people are gonna be.
You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here,
Hands you an open wide envelope.
you need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I heard there was some trouble with the water lock, but it should be fixed now. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then I'll know you're a real Kingsman and a patriot.
A few more details.
Most certainly, Harry. By
no
all
details.
means, Harry. What's on your mind?
I can tell him I mailed the signatures you asked me to get. Like not going even from the place we were standing on, and that's kind of, well, lunatic, and so no, I'm not going to say that. But I mean, if I played some kind of I'm a crazy guy, then maybe yes. I mean, if I played a total disaster of a police officer and wanted to fail, actively fail, then yes, but not in this case.
Honorable One, you have accumulated a substantial amount of honor points on your life path. You are a man most virtuous.
Wait, there were honor points?
Of course there were honor points. Did you think no one was paying attention to all of your honorable deeds, Honorable One?
I only try my best. It's the most any of us can do. Or hold your horses, this was a mistake. Honor is meaningless to me. No, it's not meaningless. It is very meaningful.
Oh, the modesty on this one. Another 10 honor points for you, sir. You are on the fast track to becoming one of the rarest, most revered of all police officers, an honor cop.
Isn't honor sort of an archaic concept? My honor is my life. Don't want this. I really don't care about honor at all. No. Isn't it an archaic concept?
Living in the name of virtue and doing noble deeds while expecting nothing in return is not archaic. How can you even think that? Selflessness forms the basis for the warrior code, an ageless code, as fit for nomadic Ilmaran tribes traversing the vast red plateau in Provincia Gordi, as it is for your neighborhood postman.
A warrior code, you say? I do feel like a warrior. This whole thing is beginning to sound very me, or it sounds rather arrogant, a secretive self-regard. No, I like this warrior code. If you You probably have heard of Castaneda, or maybe even have read his novel about Don Juan, and there was a lot of conversation about this warrior code and warrior's path, and the point is that you have to be tough and determined and think about death looking at you each moment of your life and not wasting potential in situation and so on and so forth. And I like it. I like it. And the warrior code, well, any person should be a warrior in its broad sense, like fighting for the better future, kind of.
Mm-hmm. You are like a wandering night monk, setting right the wrongs of the world you come upon.
Well, that becomes a bit pathetic, but let's keep it this way.
Are you ready to drink deep from the cup of honor?
My honor is my life.
Yes, your deeds are spoken for you, honorable one. But to fully drape oneself in an eternal cloak of honor, a ritual must be completed. A rite of honor. Even among the honorable, only the most dignified are deemed worthy. But you, O honorable one, have excelled in honor. Honor comes from deep within you, and to truly know oneself, to know one's honor, one must reach deep within oneself and touch one's honor.
Okay.
You need to bring the thumb of your right hand, your sword hand, to your rectum and stick it in there to form the Arch of Honors.
What if someone comes and sees me, or all I ever wanted was to live with dignity, to die with honor? Stick your thumb in my rear part? You're crazy if you think I'm going to stick a finger in my rear part. No way.
Most dishonorable are those who have known honor, carried honor in their hearts, and then disowned honor. They are the honor fallen. You brought much shame on your family today. Your name will forever be tarnished by this most shameful of deeds. Be forever banished, shameful one.
Authority is so messed up. So badly messed up. I mean, you of course understand I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't even going to consider that. No, no way. Absolutely not. What a pornographically bad idea, using this wonderful adverb from the last two streams. Alright, what's next? Leo, have got news?
Oh, hey, mister. No trouble at all, mister.
Okay, no news. That's good and bad at the same time. I was just afraid that Lizzie, or what's her name, this gardener, lawyer, Everhard's daughter, after being told that Leo shared some information about her, would punish him, and apparently that hasn't happened. Great news. I can't complain. What should be our next step? Who we haven't talked to, because the time is running out. I mean, the time is running out before 9 o'clock when everyone goes to bed. I think we can go to the Whirling in Rags and talk to, what was his name, this cryptozoologist. I have forgotten. The shameful one now. Morel, his name is. Let's talk to Morel and tell him about the trap being emptied by someone. I'm sure he'll be quite exhilarated by that discovery. And who else? Maybe in the quarters there might be somebody to converse with. And about these signatures, we can also go back to the village and talk about the signatures. Right. Hardy. Oh, what's that?
The theme on that pinball machine is a standard royalist theme, used on everything from pinball cabinets to full flavor cigarettes.
What are its hallmarks?
Clinging to a picture book version of the past century, waiting for the king to come back and cast out all the profiteers and homosexuals. Basically, imagine a yellow plastic crown with a liquor brand emblazoned on it.
Yellow plastic crown with a liquor brand emblazoned. Wait, where do I get such a crown?
It comes free with a six-pack of Vermilion Roy d'Or. The words Roy d'Or are stamped into the crown's plastic.
A six-pack of Vermilion Roy d'Or. The idea of a king and a century gun is pretty fascinating. I'd rather know more about the world of today.
The contemporary period stands still. The fated carousel of progress that doomed the royalists is itself winding down. Our time is decelerating into what? No one knows.
Encyclopedia is being very encyclopedia.
The Copper-nado is back. What do you want?
I talked to Joyce. The Murky Hand, his friends are coming for you.
Yeah. By friends, you mean his squad mates from Cronell.
He doesn't seem worried.
Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma.
There is snicker in the room. Some of the men put their beers down. Yes, they're forming some kind of tribunal and they're coming for you.
This is what happens if you take the law into your own hands. Other people start doing it too.
Let them come. The Hardy Boys are right fucking here.
Blondie yells across the cafeteria.
You heard the man. Right here. We're armed. We got the whole district behind us, and Glenn. Glenn is fucking crazy.
Yeah. A well-oiled murder machine.
He punches Blondie on the shoulder. Do you know that a single Ceres giant hornet can kill 40 bees a minute?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
You are the bees, they're the hornet.
We're not bees. We're men. We're socialists.
Easy, E. He's trying to phase you. What are you trying to do? Scare my men?
This Cronell is bad news, you know that, right?
So are the local gangs. The fucking Barmy Army. And the Madre scum. You've been out there. Seen any around?
Yeah. Where are they now, huh? Sent back to Madre in an airtight cargo crate.
He points out.
These people are trained military professionals. Special forces, as you said. They're not a gang or a barmy army.
No, they're not. They're uncoordinated and drunk. Don't forget, we're listening in on their communications. Their shit is way apart.
Mercenaries are armed with automatic weapons.
We got weapons of our own. We got Ister 50s, Zeelagers. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home.
He cracks open his vest to give you a glimpse of his holster. Will they pierce ceramic armor?
I guess we're gonna see, aren't we?
That was an unsure phrasing.
See what? That they don't?
Yeah. Like you've been up against ceramic armor.
He takes a sip of beer to bide his time, then tries to get the last word in.
You haven't even seen the whole suit, right? I've seen the whole fucking thing, and it didn't make him immortal.
Joyce said they've gone rogue. Nobody's controlling them.
Big fucking surprise. They hire psycho scum, arm them to the teeth, and let them loose in the city. What do you think is gonna happen?
Okay, conclude with a shrug.
What do you mean, okay?
He jerks forward a bit. I mean, okay, they're going to wipe you the fuck out, Titus. I mean, okay, you got this, you got the numbers. I mean, okay, I'll be on your side when they come. I mean, okay, you got one more gun on your side. Once I find mine, I lost it. Or, okay, I guess I'll be gunning you down right alongside them. Oh. Ah. You got the numbers. I think I'm going to give him a foreboding.
No, they won't. Get out of here with your negative energy.
He shakes his beard at you.
He really doesn't like you ruffling their feathers like that on what might be the eve of battle.
All he means is that the situation is serious.
No wonder you cops get shot to shit every day. Can't go to war with an attitude like that.
I'm going to take off now. That's hopeless. I mean, I'm surprised that there wasn't a line saying, what about the civilians? I mean, nobody cares about the civilians? I mean, they can be gunning each other forever and ever, but what about people who are, like, caught in the crossfire in the streets? Those who don't have plate armor? Ceramic armor? Well, I thought that line would appear, but strangely it didn't. Right. Here's my room, by the way. But nothing changed there, I guess. I wonder what is happening in Kim's room. If anything at all. And how it looks, actually. And there is a door in my bathroom that doesn't open. Where does it lead? Still no answer to that question. We go to the balcony to talk to Klaasje. Here she is. Hello.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
I found your boy. It was empty, just seawater.
Oh,
Her eyes widen.
Did you take the documents?
no, of course not. As I said, it would have been too risky for me to use those documents anyway. My employer gave them to me. In truth, I should have destroyed them.
She doesn't seem to be lying. She's genuinely spooked by their disappearance.
Perhaps the people who are after you took it.
They couldn't know where I put it. I'm absolutely sure I was not followed. And I've told no one but you. You mentioned seawater? I was worried I'd been too careless with the latch. The documents were probably just washed away.
She waves her cigarette. Okay, let's return to this later. Nothing. Why didn't we use this elevator, by the way? How many? Like one location and then one more. 2 locations. While we had to use 3. What's that?
You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere.
I think I can see into Klaasje's bedroom from here.
You can barely see through. Better not to jump to sensationalist conclusions here.
He leans closer to inspect the peephole.
The footprints on the floor, however, definitely suspicious.
He points to the marks nearby on the floor. What were those people doing in there?
You lean closer to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural there. Sensationally unnatural.
Right. Maybe with our perception we can find something more
clearly see
interesting.
Jackpot.
No. Nothing. Nothing to be revealed. And that's a shame, but what was I expecting? Now Morel. Morel and our colleagues from the RCM. Open the door. How is the chef doing, by the way? Any new lines?
The man...
No, nothing to talk about. Shame. Next,
It's great to see you again, officer. My wife can't wait to thank you. Go on, talk to her.
He grins, bowing awkwardly. Okay, and this man is who?
Hello, officer. Name's Gary. Boy, am I ever so grateful to you. But I'm not the only one who wants to thank you.
He nods towards Lena. Why is he gray-haired while the portrait is showing that he has brown hair, I wonder? Anyway.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
Okay, the options are just doing my job, ma'am. It was truly epic long-distance track, or it was just on my way while I was working on the case. I'm basically also a cryptozoologist now. The fourth.
I knew it.
You hear Kim say quietly to himself.
I'm not surprised. It's already getting out of hand.
Well, in that case, sweetie, let me give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie, Mexican origin. The pin is an antique, quite special to the cryptozoological community.
A bonus for being erratic. She hands you a ribbon tie held together by a silver bird skull.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes. You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important.
You never told me you've seen the phasmid.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
Look at how he talks to people. Holding this flashlight just in front of their face, like true inspector, true interrogator. And she's so nice to him at the same time.
But darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
Wait, where was this and how old were you?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5 and a half in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
She'd just started forming memories. Real memories. Not the billowy haze of infanthood. Betancourt got bombed in the war. It used to be quite near, circa 20 kilometers from here.
What happened?
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it. I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
Did you follow it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Where did you go? Don't go.
Then what?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
He looks at her with admiration, forgetting a wide smile on his face. You were on a date.
Our first, yes.
The old woman looks at her husband tenderly.
The glance is tender, yes, but tempered by something else. A thought she can't express, even to him.
Huh.
Interesting.
Its limbs are white.
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
And how big was it?
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
Maybe you imagine it, Lena? Lena.
How could she? Who imagines this? She didn't know about the phasmid. This is the main thing here, what makes it a confirmed sighting. She had no previous knowledge of the insect.
So she couldn't have made it up, or imagined it.
That's true, yes. I'm almost certain neither my mother nor my grandmother knew of it. It was only when I started telling my story as a teenager that boys would tell me, Lena.
Lena, Lena, Lena. She lowers her voice, imitating a boy.
You trying to tell us you saw the Insulindian phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here. They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair and tell me to stop dreaming. But I saw it.
Kim, what do you think of this?
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
He closes his notes and gives her a simple smile.
But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories and then end up believing them.
Thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
And she could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own. Into the mud. Anywhere.
I'd really like to hear about more cryptids.
You know, to hell with it. Let's have more cryptids.
Of course, officers. Is there a particular cryptid you two are interested in learning about?
Is this bird a cryptid? Point to the tie she gave you.
No. It's the cryptid.
Ooh, her eyes narrow mysteriously. Wow, the cryptid.
Oh, yes.
The small silver skull shines between your fingers. It's big, sharp. Okay, what is this bird?
The eight-eyed teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11.5 meters. It was thought to have gone extinct 3,500 years ago. Some even doubted the fossils were real. A mutation, they said. Until...
Mutation? All of evolution is a mutation.
Until it was cited by renowned Gotvaldian explorer and naturalist Uwe Plattenkalk in 21.
This renown seems a bit dubious. Your own catalogue comes up completely empty. But, of course, you are not all-knowing.
I need to hear about this sighting.
It happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Oamrau Canyon in southeast Ilmara. Dr. Plattenkalk got separated from his group during a sandstorm.
Okay, and Omarau is?
The world's largest canyon system, sweetie. It's a barren waste east of the Erg Desert. An ancient riverbed completely dried up.
What happened?
Alone in the blasted desert heat, the doctor wandered eastward, where man hasn't stepped foot in over 1,000 years, since the fall of Pericarnassus. He was lost, without any navigation equipment, and desperately low on water. After a day or two, he noticed a bird high in the noon sky. A great black bird. It seemed gargantuan. Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere on the horizon. But by the time Uwe got there, the teratorn had taken off already, and the carcass was picked clean. This happened many times.
He was following it.
Yes, or rather, hunting. A bird that big has a lot of blood in it, and he was dying of thirst. For many days, Dr. Plattenkalk followed the Tetatorn until they reached a great canyon wall where the bird finally landed to rest. The professor climbed up there with a rock in his hand. He found the bird sleeping with his head tucked under its wing, a great black pile of feathers on the perch. So he approached, slowly squeezing the rock in his fist.
Oh, a scientist he was. Well, I mean survival and so on, but still, if you know that it is something absolutely special.
Then the Tetatorn suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes, 4 on either side of its skull, like a spider. And the man couldn't move. He was paralyzed, frozen into place with the rock in his hand. Whatever he did, he could not get closer to the bird.
Why?
The bird was controlling his mind. It kept him from approaching. He could step back, but every time he stepped forward, paralysis. Uva spent 3 days trying until the bird flew away.
How did he survive to tell the story?
The 8-eyed Tetatorn was indifferent to him, as long as he didn't get closer than 2 steps. It even let him feed on some carcasses up there, and the 2 unfertilized eggs it left behind.
No way.
Yes way, sweetie. Cryptozoologists have been tracing it ever since. But Wamrau is vast, mysterious, and holds many secrets.
She smiles, used to derision.
Modern radar telemetry shows great promise. We will confirm this one by the end of the decade, latest.
This one I liked. Not only does it have 8 eyes, and is a living fossil, and the largest bird ever to live, it also does mind control.
He puts down his notes.
He's sincere. He likes the audacity of it.
So that was the last anyone saw of it?
Sadly, yes. But there are numerous reports of 8-eyed bird skulls from Il Mara. And then there's the striking resemblance to the Pericarnassian imperial eagle, an ancient heraldic symbol that is hard to pass off as coincidence. The imperial eagle, too, had 8 eyes.
Not really. It's just stylization. The way they drew eyes. It's not a zoological drawing.
Very, very hard.
This one's very famous. Everyone knows it. People will be looking at that tie on you and thinking, that man is into cryptids. So, what else do you want to know?
I think that was
Of
it.
course, dear.
That's all for now, ma'am. That story about the cryptid reminded me of a beautiful legend, I think the most beautiful from Pokemon series, about Articuno. There were 3 legendary birds, of course. I don't know why I said that. So, there were 3 legendary birds in Pokemon Generation 1, and those were Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, if I'm not mistaken. So, Zapdos and Moltres, I don't remember how you should have met them, like what were the conditions. Zapdos was the electric one, Moltres I think was the fiery one, and Articuno logically was for ice and cold. And to meet Articuno you had to be dying in the north. Like you had to be dying lost in the snow desert, and I don't know in this case like how you're supposed to catch this Pokemon and keep it successfully to be the master of Pokemons if you're like close to extinction. But well, that's the legend, and it's also quite beautiful. Right, we have talked to Lina, autosave, I don't know why, maybe because the game thought I'm going to go extinct myself. Let's talk to Morel.
Ha ha! Nothing like the gratitude of a good woman. Now then, What can I do for you?
He gives you a gruff pat on the shoulder.
He tries to play it cool, remain professorial. But inside, this man is itching for some news on those traps.
So I checked all the traps.
Good. Okay.
And one of them was empty.
Completely empty?
The cryptozoologist's eyes grew wide. Yes, there was nothing in the trap. No locusts, no phasmid.
No locusts? No phasmid either?
That's not ideal, but...
He rubs his chin.
It just means the Insulindian phasmid is even more clever than we thought.
The old woman's face lights up.
She's engaging in a well-known self-deception called motivated reasoning. You should correct them.
Of course, more clever.
A detective whispers to himself.
Yes, the Phantasmadeia picked off the locusts and escaped. This is good news, though we'll have to reconsider the design of the traps. Make them more secure.
Another trip to the reeds.
His companion sighs. It's not very scientific to reason backward from a conclusion you want to be true.
I appreciate your concern, officer, but please leave this to the experts. Unless you have an alternative hypothesis you'd like to venture. Actually, no. Excuse me for getting emotional. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now, and brought some great news too. My gratitude, and the gratitude of the Société Cryptozoologique de Ravachol, is yours.
It should have been Ravachol then.
Heartfelt gratitude. But does it feel like closure? What really happened?
I agree with this turn.
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably return to our main investigation here. This has been refreshing, but...
He says with a straight face, then turns to...
Helping cryptozoologists isn't really a priority for our organization, is it? The lieutenant looks out the window, impatiently. Damn it, Lieutenant. Have you no intellectual curiosity?
I'm going to develop an alternative theory about the missing locusts. Oh, I insulted Morel. Didn't insult him. I reasoned with him. That's different. 8-eyed Terratorn tie, Inland Empire and Volition bonus instead of +2 drama. Whoa, that's delicious. Inland Empire and Volition. Drama helps us understand who's lying, who's not. Volition gives us more resolution in dialogues, and Inland Empire just makes all possible nonsense possible, and that's fun. That's actually one of the best parts of the game. Why they can't go together? What a shame. I also have, how many? 5 skill points? And no thoughts to process, right? Yeah. I can technically improve Volition, Inland Empire. Only 4! Ooh, that's so bad. I probably have to invest 1 point in drama. 2 points then. Just to keep it at the same level. What is Volition giving us? Again, Hyper Sane. Unstable, cob falling apart at the seams as you make irreversible mistakes. You know what? I'm going to just improve Inland Empire. Just for that to be like that. And leave it. Until further, trigger. Maybe we'll need to increase it once again. I'm repeating the words so badly. Sorry.
I really owe you one for getting us out of those reeds, officer. Finally got all that soot out of my hair. Name's Gary.
Oh, that's what it was. Soot.
Yellow Man. I mean, officer.
Yellow Man? He turns toward him.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook. Yellow Man, might this be the owner of that mug you found in the trash? This is something to ask him about, after a little probing first.
Not a lover of the great outdoors?
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
He sounds very, very toxic.
This man respects authority too much to see you for what you are. Pretend thou art a sober man.
I'm neither of those things, I can assure you. I'm by the books, clean as a whistle, teetotal in officer, not even tempted to touch intoxicants. Generates, I've been trained to identify the slightest hint of degeneracy by the preeminent authority on it. Drunks and degenerates, that's my crew. Sadly, I think I might be a drunk or a degenerate, maybe even both. Nobody's perfect. Have you been tempted to drink? Have you never been tempted to drink? Ooh. I think I'm going to question him.
Oh, I've been tempted. But someone has to stay strong for Revacol.
Revacol it is now. He nods gravely, his gaze shifts to the floor tiles.
Serious question time. This man is no innocent. No one is.
Do you know anything? No. Are you a First of all, are you a cryptozoologist too?
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
After all this time with Morel, he must have an opinion on cryptids. This could lead to a good one.
I'm into cryptids. Do you have a favorite?
Oh, yes. The burning rhino. Morel doubts he's real, but I don't much care, because I won't be the one looking for him out in Safra Serai.
What's a burning rhino?
A rhinoceros that looks ordinary during the day, but burns brightly by night. Well, at least the males do.
How do they burn?
They have special ducts just above their shoulder blades that secrete a combustible fluid. When the rhino is just beginning to light itself, it looks as though it has wings of fire.
But how is this combustible fluid lit?
How does the lighting of this fluid actually work?
The rhino starts running very fast to build heat, then stops, raises its head, and sparks fly from its neck, setting its back ablaze.
I want to be just like that rhino running through the night with guns blazing.
We don't really do that around here.
Perhaps we should have more such decisive action in Revacol. You know, this city used to be a flaming rhino once. A long time ago.
He says and then pauses thoughtfully. Why only the males?
The flames are not just for decoration. They are an integral part of the beast's mating behavior.
How so?
During the burning rhino's mating season, herds of male rhinos, all aflame, encircle herds of female rhinos, forming a fiery ring as they begin to copulate loudly. Local peasants call it the passion ring. They fear the rhinos, as perhaps they should. Anyway.
The lieutenant sighs without looking up from his notes.
I join Kim in this.
It's clear the burning rhino is dear to him on many levels, some even spiritual.
You were surprised to see my colleague, Lieutenant Kitsuragi?
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sail. I meant no offense, truly.
By saying yellow man?
Do you remember how, when we met Measurehead and I said the next races will be a really good one?
I think so. Sorry, as you know, I've been having problems with my memory. No, I remember that, of course.
Well, this is that racist.
He gestures toward Gary as though he were presenting a work of art. Are you, Gary? Are you a racist?
Hey, man. All I meant was there are not many Sealites around here. I'm just stating a fact.
He blushes. The lieutenant is a native of Havashol?
Oh, yes. Of course he is. I was just speaking about his connections.
He flashes.
Let's change the subject, okay?
He flashes an impenetrable smile.
Sounds like some conspiracy topic. You might be able to discuss it with him when the lieutenant isn't here, if you can remember it.
Well, I might. Do you know anything about the man hanged behind the whirling rags?
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about. Great. Great to hear someone's finally taking care of that.
He nods in sincere approval.
So you do know something about it?
No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that. I'm just glad to hear you're looking into it. That's all.
He shakes his head emphatically, then corrects his tie.
He didn't kill him or anything, but there's something going on here.
Is this your mug? Hold up the little man mug.
My mug? Why would you think that?
I can see you recognize it. It's in your eyes.
I may have had a similar looking mug in the past. That's all.
Still seems suspicious. Did I mention the mug was found at the scene of a lynching?
Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer.
He pauses.
You're not going to find me, are you?
20 real, 100 real, and 250 real. Why should we fine a person for throwing away a racist mug? No, I just want information.
Whew. Thank you. You won't regret this. I won't use another man's property to dump my garbage ever again.
What culture level?
I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn Koiko's price dumping us out of competition.
Koiko's price.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
How did you get into the trash container?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Why would you need to get into everyone's trash?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob.
He says, bowing shamefully like a fallen knight.
I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
He's a very, very shady character, very obscure.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
Lieutenant raises his eyebrows and looks up. We should have slept in that container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
How did you get in the trash container? And Gary, did you put the clothes of a murder victim, the man who was hanged behind the whirling rags, into that trash container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
He raises both hands. Do?
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Okay, then what happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
He changes his mind mid-sentence.
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
Lieutenant remarks drolly.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads, against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before. But where?
What's that strange sound?
What sound?
The clinking I just heard when you moved.
Really?
He fans his arms out slowly, and this time his motions are soundless.
There's lots of weird sounds in a bar like this, though. Pinball, glasses clinking. Could be someone playing pinball.
Maybe it was pinball.
You wouldn't know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
He changes his mind.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing.
Let's move on for now.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
He is visibly relieved. It's over. Composure legendary, 28%. I think we can do that, especially if we put on proper clothes. Composure. I guess we had something for composure. I mean, apart from the trousers that we are already wearing. I think there should be something else. I think, yeah, our boots. The shoes that I keep calling boots. How about that? Save.
Very generous of you to help us out, officer. I'm sure glad to be back from that little excursion. I mean, officers.
He turns toward Kim.
Once more, you hear that odd clicking sound coming from Gary.
42%.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
His massive musculature.
No, he's scrawny. Try again.
Something worn underneath it. Oh, the armor.
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
I see you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once.
He sighs heavily and then unbuttons the shirt.
I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
You see gleaming white ceramic shine underneath. A thin layer of interlocking plates covers his gaunt torso.
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. He's gearing up to admit the truth. This shame is surprisingly sincere.
Gary, what's going on?
I took the hanged man's cuirass. I didn't mean to.
God damn it, Gary.
I know.
Shame on you. Give the cuirass to the officer at once.
The woman looks at you, her eyes soft and pleading.
Gary didn't mean to interfere with your investigation, officers. He's just thick-headed and poor as dirt. But he's always helped us, given us a place to stay. And he's followed Morel into God knows what jungles.
He's a loyal friend.
Why did you really put those clothes in the trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling.
He looks at his feet.
So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here.
He swallows.
Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
His lips start quivering.
We're detecting sincere contrition here, sire. He's not trying to flatter anyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
The lieutenant jots something down in his notebook.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Sealite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
He shakes his head.
They were thoroughly conservative men, he realizes suddenly. It's difficult to say what the lieutenant thinks of this historic apology. His face does not belie emotions.
Why did you lie to me, Gary?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you, but...
He says, staring at nothing in particular.
He's a scaredy cat.
The woman looks at Gary, her eyes motherly. Do you know who killed the hangman?
I always thought it was the Union. Some Union hardasses lynched him because of the strike. But almost everyone in town knows that. I wish I could tell you more.
He shakes his head.
This is all he knows.
Give me that armor, now.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat.
Are we done here, Gary?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again.
He looks around, relieved of some burden, his mouth still quivering. Thank you for your cooperation. That was cool. An armor, a new skill point. Excellent. So, the list of quests is going ever down. I wonder where I can get a brush to make a mural. And why can't I ask Classy about Sunday night? When Kim's not around to stop you, ask about Classy about what she heard from her room the night before immersed into reality. She must know something. Ah, when Kim's not around. Well. Classy sleeps at night. You can't talk to her. And that means that I have to send Kim to his room to talk to her. That's a conundrum to solve. Right. Slate. Kiros. +1 pain threshold. +1 volition. -1 empathy. Thicker skin, borrowed confidence, many of invulnerability. That's rubbish. +2 points and 1 minus. Some things have only +2 points and that's all. Are you serious? And there's no bonus. This armor is really and that's nothing else. So, police officers.
Again? I can't believe this shit.
And she?
Yes? What is it?
They don't want to talk to us yet. I want to talk to Kim about that homosexual thought and obsession with it.
Yes?
Have big news, Kim. Tell Kim about how you no longer obsess over your sexuality.
Okay.
I have managed to stop obsessing about my sexuality.
Great. Imagine all the time you'll have for work now. Matter of fact, we should get back to it right now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just one thing though.
What?
Are you part of the homosexual underground?
You didn't stop at all, did you? You are just obsessing about other people's sexuality now.
Yeah, but...
But am I? I'll spare you another 20-hour mind project. Yes, I am. Now let's get back to work.
That's the truth.
So, that meant that Kim is homosexual?
Yes.
Alright. And this man here?
Hi again, Gendarme.
About this hat I'm wearing.
You can keep it. I don't mind. I can appreciate beauty when I see it.
It's like carrying a piece of you with me at all times. What if I say that?
Is it now? Well, enjoy it. Bye-bye, Gendarme.
Nothing really happened after that, but it's okay. I just thought there would be some interaction, maybe some location will be opened, like underground. But fine, I guess. Bonuses from the thought. Stop. Yes. About sexuality. Oh. Now, I think we have to report the dead body on the boardwalk and inspect the library card. That will tell us about the man. And I want to find his wife to bring her the gruesome tidings. We need Kanima. There's something there. Something triggers the circle above our head all the time. The halo.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a
Mhm,
radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
I need to report a dead body on the Martinez boardwalk.
One moment.
You can hear her shuffling through some papers.
Can you please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death?
An unidentified middle-aged man. Height 170, 175 centimeters. Dark hair, medium build. Looks like he slipped, fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench.
We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him, and traces of vomit on his shirt.
Any signs of violence?
Someone might have pushed him. Or, no, it seems like it was an accident. I think we agreed with, on that with Kim.
No field autopsy necessary.
She repeats.
You can hear her quickly typing in the background.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes?
He was wearing boots, trousers, and an old leather jacket with a bright blue lining. I found a library card from his pockets.
Any information on the library card?
I haven't examined it yet.
So unprofessional of you.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that should have been the opposite way.
Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else?
We're taking the case.
I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Did you find out more about the owner of the armored boots?
Yes. I got the mercenary's name and a few biographical details. Are you ready?
Actually, let's load the game, because I hate that we were so unprofessional, and let's examine the library card, I guess, before we venture forward to be more dutiful policemen. And I see now.
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
Yeah, bye-bye. Why am I here? Why didn't I save before I entered, before I went to the car? I don't know. But that's another shameful moment. I just thought that I'm going to play The Sinking City afterwards, and then it's also a detective game. And I also bought this Sherlock Holmes game from the same studio, and it's also a detective game. Am I converting to be a detective? Items. Library card. Not this one, not these are just items. Interactables. White envelope. Folded library card. A library card found from a pocket of the dead man on the Martinez boardwalk. It's still slightly damp to the touch. The cover bears the stamp of Jamrock Public Library.
The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mejean, expires July 53. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased or his family member.
Let's look inside.
Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinting Curve by M. Theobald. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too.
Look at the backside.
If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005 02 55 211 or visit us at Moreau Street, 78, Jamrock. Business hours 900 to 1800.
So it's Jamrock. We can't go to the library.
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about Billy Mejean.
Let's put it away. That's a shame. I thought I would have a chance to go. But, well, on the other hand, that would add how much text to the game? Because library has books.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers.
Sure.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Can you please connect me to Jamrock Public Library?
I'm afraid they're closed. It says here that the library is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Oh, no, really? Damn it.
We should try again during business hours.
Anything else, Detective?
I'll report the body tomorrow.
57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
And, on the other hand, is it good to report so late? Of course not. From 10 to freaking 6. Just 1 hour later. If I hadn't talked to... What else haven't I done? I can't reach for my inventory from the station. Right, did you find out more about the owner of the armored boots?
Yes. I got the mercenary's name and a few biographical details. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
The lieutenant leans in to listen, notebook in hand.
Shoot.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Ellis Kortenaer. That's E-L-L-I-S K-O-R-T-E-N-A-I-R.
Beginner English
Exact
file.
date of birth unknown. He was signed into the Lelystad County Neonatal Care Unit on 28th of February 09.
Neonatal care unit.
He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent 4 months in the neonatal unit, survived apparently, and was assigned to a foster family at 2.
According to Klasia, Lele said his real name wasn't really his. Perhaps that's because he was fostered.
This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the Eastbrand Military Academy in Vredefort at 17, then served in the Oranese forces till he was honorably discharged in 41, just a year before the Seminese conflict. Then the armor followed him to Seminine, or at least I assume it did. And that's it. There are no records of his employment in Crenel, or any of its other incarnations, or him even entering Revachol.
Wait, he was found in a leaf compactor?
It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's a detail the hospital had, the only detail in these files. So I thought it would be good for you to know.
It is. Thank you, Alice.
Any information on his foster parents?
None, officer. Sorry.
So all we have to connect him to Crenel is the armor.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their inventory. Thank you, Alice. Great work.
He leans closer and shouts. Shouts! That was a shout!
No problem, Lieutenant.
She sounds pleased. Well, she did sound pleased.
A compliment from Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Not bad.
Well, I have his name and service record now.
A name. This is very good. Ellis Kortenaer.
He says to himself.
Sometimes police work is about human dignity, about giving back names to anonymous victims.
I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. Did you have any other questions?
Well, you know what? Let's report the body because I feel bad about leaving it once again on the boardwalk for 1 day.
One moment.
Yes,
Can you please
we suspect.
any signs of violence? No field autopsy necessary.
Already picked these lines.
You can hear.
What about his belongings? Any information on the library card?
It's from Central Jamrock Public Library. It belongs to someone named Billy Mejan.
Good. You have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else?
Oh, that's so. There is no reprimand this time. That like it's 7 o'clock. Why shouldn't you? Sorry. Why didn't you call library earlier and so on and so forth? Should have called earlier. I mean, they're taking the case, of course.
I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue.
Yes, thanks.
That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, I'm done with the radio now.
57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers.
Close the
a
door.
radio.
Close the door. I don't know, that these lines that repeat and repeat and repeat, that's just crazy. Well, this snow, it's raining outside my flat. Makes me a bit, you know, I've had enough of snow in my country. What should be the next step? Kuno, Kuno-S, all here. Haven't disappeared. Class C we have talked to. Maybe the girl has some news. Hey, Kira, how is it?
Hello, sir. How is the investigation going? Found any curses yet?
Yeah, I found a way into the doomed commercial area.
Oh, that's great. I hope exciting adventures lie ahead. And maybe you can help Mother become less afraid.
Her smile is warm. What's this crime business?
Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that. And the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals.
I think they're talking about the books that are on the stalls, on the displays, on the tables here. We clicked on the orbs much time ago. I think on Monday it was. And now we are finally talking about that. So, crime fiction, I need to know what crime is. She doesn't know what to say. It's that bad. Point to your head.
Crime is what we were solving before this conversation began.
Why would anyone want to read about crime?
It's exciting to people, I guess. They get to imagine dangerous things. And it's kind of like a puzzle, where you can guess who the criminal is, or how the good guys are going to catch him.
I'm a policeman myself, by the way. Maybe.
You don't look much like a policeman.
She examines you as if to find something policeman-like. Okay, maybe I should... what does a cop look like then? And maybe I'm not a policeman, or should stop being one?
Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen.
She points to the book cover on which you see a strapping Vespertine officer. He stands grimly over the body of a dead woman. I used to be exactly like that Mullen guy, then I decided to leave a little. Or, you know, nobody actually looks like the guy in the picture. That's just a stupid fantasy of a man. It's not your body that's important in police work anyway, it's your point to your head. Well, look at that guy. I'll never be as good as Mullen, and I actually had other questions. I think I'm going to say the first line.
What's that mean?
You know, cut loose, raise hell, blow off steam.
And everything's better now, sir?
No.
Why is that?
Look at me, a hideous beast, a failure of a cop, a disgrace.
Sir, please, sir, don't say things like that. You look nice enough.
Nice enough for a small child, sure. Maybe.
Don't be sad, sir. I'm sorry I said that thing about Dick Mullen.
She seems genuinely concerned. You know, nobody actually looks like the guy in the picture.
She looks at Dick Mullen, frowning. Dark, arrogant, violent, likely overcompensating for something. He isn't even drawn right.
He isn't even drawn right. This is not how human shoulders work. The perspective is all wrong.
She examines the picture, trying to find whatever is wrong with it. She then shrugs and puts the book aside.
That's just no way to cop. I can do it way better than Dick Mullen.
Sure you can, sir. He's just a fictional character. He'll be no match for you.
That escalated quickly. I mean, from cursing ourselves, we just went to saying that Dick Mullen is nothing compared to us. She smiles mischievously.
Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
Little girl, help. My Dick Mullen book ripped before I could get to the end. Do you know what happens?
Which book was it, sir?
Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity.
Oh, I'm very sorry, sir. I haven't read that one yet. I wish I could help you.
Nobody knows the end. What is romance?
It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man.
She smiles at the thought, perhaps imagining herself in that situation.
Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir.
What about a poor man getting a rich lady?
It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something.
I see.
Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end.
What about when both of the men are bad?
These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that.
Hello, Nick. Nice to see you again. It's going fine. Today I told this already, I bought The Sinking City, finally, and I'm going to play it very soon. The weather is very conducive to that, but still I wanted to solve some mysteries here, know what happens in the following events in this Elysium, because it's an endless narrative, and we have to be going. What if it's written really well?
Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting.
What about when everyone is poor?
That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life.
Sometimes you have to write about real life things.
Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end.
What about a book where the man and lady business doesn't work out at all?
I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum.
Yeah? You think she has one about an excruciatingly painful breakup?
I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though.
She pauses, trying to figure out the appropriate answer. No, think about it. One where they plunge into a torrid spiral of pain and recrimination. Only it's really long and drawn out. Scarred for life. Phantom Leap.
No, I don't know.
Poor child, talking to this lunatic. Doesn't ring a bell? Alright, I'll ask your mom.
Yes, she knows books, definitely.
She knows nothing, your mother, because she is a delirious believer in amulets, and she wastes your family's property, and she actually neglects you, and she's obviously giving you hard times, but you don't realize that yet. So, yeah, you're quite unlucky, unfortunately.
What was that? An idea for an unfinished novel stuck somewhere in your forebrain? You clearly have issues you need to address.
That's enough romance for me. I had other questions.
Maybe some about other books?
Who are these famous people?
Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them.
She scratches her cold-ridden cheek and continues.
I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
Reading those doesn't make the readers more famous, does it?
But it does make the famous people more famous.
She smiles gleefully. Good point. Fame sounds delicious. Maybe someone will write a book about me one day. Not a book, a game. Fame is for vain people. I have better things to do. These famous people sound like a bunch of dorks. No, the first one.
Why would they do that, sir?
I will be a superstar cop in the papers and everything. That will show him. Or why indeed? I'm just an old tired cop. What use am I? In life, I probably will go with the second answer.
You're not that old. Maybe you'll do something really important. Something that wows the world.
You think so?
Yes, there's hope. A lot of famous people got famous late, or even after they've died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're certainly the type who might find fame posthumously. Who knows? You might even get famous for the manner of your death.
Hmm. That sounds like a nice story to tell yourself at night. Maybe fame isn't that important after all. Some can't get noticed, others can't get properly forgotten. That's life for you. But what if I get famous only through dying? I couldn't enjoy the fame after all. Let's see what a child says to that.
I don't think you should live life with that fear. Just try to be the best you can.
She stamps on her feet. You can stop calling me sir. Very late to say that. I am but a working man.
No, sir, I can't. It would be too tiring to refrain from it. It's already tiring enough to remember to say it all the time. It's nice of you to say I could stop, though.
I get you. For example, can't stop making this face, point at your face. Why the game thinks I'm still wearing the expression? Or, okay, yeah, when the next person comes, you'd have to sir and ma'am them again. Sir it is then, soldier on. I think I'm going to check what happens if I go with the first option.
That's a friendly enough face, most of the time.
I don't get that.
No, sir. Yes, sir.
She smiles apologetically. Yeah, I just wanted to check. Composure it was, right? The skill check. Then let's wear our... Let's put on our shoes. Not boots. Shoes.
The lights are so pretty when it gets dark.
72%.
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden. Why is that?
Hey, why do you keep your hands folded?
What do you mean, sir?
She looks worried.
She knows where this is going.
You don't need to be worried. I am here to help. Or you can show them to me, or actually I'd rather not deduce anything. Every time I deduce, people get hurt. I'm here to help.
She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. She doesn't want to show them. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest. A facade of true professionalism. He is far more intrigued by the situation than his poise reveals.
I think I have to improve my parameters already because they get medium checks and... Well, maybe it's been happening for a long time. I just haven't noticed, but... I have how many skill points again? 6 skill points to spend. 6! And no thoughts coming. I'm just keeping them for thoughts, but maybe I can spend a couple. Like, maybe Inland Empire could work. And then Empathy. And, well, maybe let's invest one in Encyclopedia, one Conceptualization, just because these two give us levels, you know? Yeah. The more they trigger, the better. And Inland Empire. Empathy? No. Visual Calculus? No. Rhetoric? No. Maybe Encyclopedia 10? That's crazy. I think that's enough. Yeah, it's okay.
She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh.
You bite your nails.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded?
She shoots you a suspicious glance. There were a few other hints.
Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
Her eyes flash with defiance. She's not impressed. Want more? Bet I can figure out why you bite your nails. I got a few reasons in mind. Or you think so? Fine, do better. Deduce something about me. No, I think I'm going with the first option.
She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
You are uptight because of your mother and the pressure she's putting on you, or rats have been nibbling on your fingers, child labor is dismal working conditions, children nails means you're recycling your body material, that's gross, and it's intense dedication to the way of business. There are no riches without personal sacrifice. She's a child. There's no way talking to a child like options 2, 4.
Maybe so, sir. Okay, I know it's a bad habit, and I shouldn't.
Dismay flickers in her eyes and she sighs. Either way, another ace deduction by the #1 detective in town. Or I hope this entertained you. What entertainment?
It was okay, sir.
She's still got a rebellious streak.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
Okay, that was a masterclass move. Whatever, kid, I don't need to prove myself to you. You think so? Find a better.
You're quite sober.
She snaps back quickly.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
You're quite sober. I'm also sad and my head hurts. Well, let's say first, wait, how do you know I'm usually not?
Because you usually aren't.
I'm also sad and my heart hurts. My heart hurts and my head hurts, okay?
I'm sorry, sir. I hope things get better soon.
She looks you in the eye, a gleam of sympathy in her face.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar. Somehow, there's something you're missing.
Suggestion, 8%. Whoa. Maybe that skill isn't that useless after all. Suggestion. Okay. Hat removed. White satin shirt removed. Next. What gives us suggestion? Something does, I remember. Empathy. Aha. Signal blue naval coat. That's +1. Again, such a mess in my inventory. Look at that. Because they don't give me space. I have to just rummage through this intersolary suit jacket. Ha! Thank you. That's like no help at all because I didn't get anything from that exchange. So that means that there isn't anything improving our suggestion. I mean, nothing else. That's a shame. But now we have what? 3? 3 is okay. And I think, yeah, our thoughts decrease. Wompty Dumpty Dum Center decreases our suggestion. It's okay.
Hi, Ace Detective.
The crowbar.
Are you here for more books?
The crowbar gives you more self-confidence. Yes. Yeah, that's... I know that looks... Yeah, policemen walking around the city with a crowbar all the time. No, it's just that I've been looting some places and you have to have this crowbar in your hands to open containers. Notice how he talks to people with a flashlight pointed at their faces all the time, and they don't even get bothered by that. So, what is missing here?
You absolutely...
Lord in the game again. I'm not going to invest points in suggestion because I'm not going to seduce anyone and play these gender games. Not my cup of tea. Not even my spoon of tea. Oh, what's that?
Give up. You'll never find the answer. There's no other copy of Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity here.
But why?
Because that's how the world works. Some stories never get finished. You shouldn't expect there to be a tidy, satisfying ending. But, what if you never find out how your story ends?
Inland Empire. Oh. I have to invest 1 point. Okay, I'm convinced. Inland Empire 7. I'm going to be batshit crazy. There's got to be a way to solve this.
There isn't. If only you had more time, more resources. Who knows what you could have come up with? Maybe if there had been more money and less speed. Or more speed.
Nah.
Or that, yes. Either way, you might have been able to come up with an answer, but not like this. Hang on, you can do this. Use your imagination. You know who the suspects are. Just make it up. So, who killed Charlie Spillane and Deanna Denuva, detective? Just fucking pick one.
I've got it. It was communism, it was love. Did the man, the dirty police captain, the junkyard collector, the politician's twat son. Fuck you, book, it was Dick Mullen. Love did them in.
Sure, yes. They died of an overabundance of love. Just loved each other to death. Couldn't get enough love. And now, they're dead. Why not? Love gets a lot of people killed. Speaking of, aren't you a little close to the edge yourself? Love a cop. Better lay off that love stuff, if you can.
It's interesting that that orb didn't appear before, right? It's frustrating. So, composure suggestion
Are you here
check.
for more books?
You have absolutely...
Hell. Over abusing. Right. Tell us.
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books?
Because you know each other. She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before.
Hello. So you know me? We've met before?
Yes, I stand in this spot all the time.
She sways back and forth on her feet.
You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir. Apologizing to everyone. I don't really understand what you've done wrong.
Did I ever talk to you?
Of course, you've stopped by a few times. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you.
She looks at you intently. What do you mean I look better? I look like shit.
Yeah, but you don't have party eyes anymore.
Party eyes. Yes, of course. That makes sense.
Lieutenant slowly, ever so slowly realizes something. Just imagine him talking with the pitiful girl, his face is grinning like in the reflection in the mirror from the start of the game, flashing in her face with the crowbar in hand. Well, that time he didn't have the crowbar, but he had the flashlight and he was in this... What? Without your short on? Okay. I mean that... The fact that she isn't surprised or shocked or dumbfounded by that performance means that her life in that place is even more terrible than a drunk detective with party eyes. And that tells us a story about Havashal and why it has to be improved, why it has to be a better place for people through our effort, through our contribution to that.
I'm not surprised children have seen you running around with party eyes on, he thinks. Not at all.
Party eyes?
You know, like a cat in the dark, all big and wide-eyed. It certainly looks odd on a man.
She giggles at the thought.
The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. That is what she meant. You were probably gurning too. Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Snap those sequins on you, boy.
Does this mean I've been partaking in narcotics?
Oh baby, that's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important thing.
So why don't you tell me you knew me to begin with?
I didn't know I had to do that.
She looks puzzled. I don't really like this detective deduction game anymore, or thanks, I've learned something about myself today. Yeah, the second option, of course.
I'm glad I could help you, sir.
She smiles a wide, helpful smile. What a child. What a perfect child. Let's go and talk to her mother. I want to complain about the child standing in the cold with her fingernails beaten to meat. That's something her mother has to address in herself, of course.
What have you found? And also, do buy the books. There may be teachings in them.
Screw you. First of all, have more books in stock. All the pressure has made Annette really anxious. You know she's been chewing her nails?
God, I've told her not to do that. It's disgusting.
No, it's disgusting.
But I
You're
told
disgusting.
You to mind your own business.
You're disgusting.
Clearly, you have no idea how hard it is to raise a girl in this economy.
And with your freaking amulets on your neck, on which you spend half of your income, maybe more. All the police in this game, all like Uncle Steppa, don't harm any live being. But I incline more to your suggestion. Uncle Steppa, our famous Soviet archetype of a helpful policeman. It was such a fable for children. Uncle Steppa was all saving, all helpful, all friendly and stuff like that. Something like Uncle Sam, but Uncle Sam is a gigantic concept of a countryman, a patriot, but at the same time with this business feature, business trait, and also it was about capitalism, while Uncle Steppa was a person standing on earth. It was just a worker, a simple police officer who helped everyone in any situation, and he was also very tall, and he always spent time with children. Very different from what America has produced as their mascot, let's say. I mean, I'm not saying that either of them is bad or good, just different. Yeah. Uncle Steppa, I forgot. Thanks for bringing this up. So that woman.
This economy is a mysterious force, like cosmic weather, mysterious and harsh.
I have to report that to some childcare communities, institutions. I don't think she can do anything about it.
She can, if she has enough willpower. This is what's called growing pains. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breaks.
What are you talking about?
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
Options. What you're doing is wrong. Even I know that, and I usually don't know anything. That is true, and obviously the will of the market, but maybe make an exception for your daughter. Yeah, actually it's super alright for kids to chew their hands off. Forget I said anything. I'm not sure that the last one is passive-aggressive, so I'm going to go with the second one. Or the first. I think I'll go with the third, just to see what happens.
She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming. 10 or so seconds pass without change. This is a person coming to terms with a new reality, one where they are wrong.
Finally.
It's not easy. She's looking for one, but there simply aren't any good arguments for being an asshole.
Exactly. What a line.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there.
All of a sudden she exhales sharply. Her shoulders slump down, and she mutters.
There. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress.
She stops, but her mouth keeps moving. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. You have a husband. He teaches you business lessons, and you have amulets against spirits, and no idea about your stock, about what books you have, and you torture your daughter. Your life is worse than mine.
It sounds like both the husband and the mother treat her the way she treats Annette.
Well, get away. I mean, you are an adult. Annette is a child. I'm actually getting angry. I mean, naturally, sincerely angry. You're like Annette to your husband and your mother.
Oh, well, my mother was horrible, of course. Absolutely perverse energies around that person.
Perverse energies.
But my husband...
Shakes her head. You are so messed up. You are so messed up, and you don't have to repeat the pattern, you know, with the child.
My husband is completely different, of course.
Is this husband Annette's father?
Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. No matter. Soon we'll both be off for Grand Couronne.
Wait, Grand Couronne, what's that?
It's a proper place to live. One of the most peaceful neighbourhoods east of Jamrock. You may know it for its massive housing projects. Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the crowds. Better times ahead for sure.
And your husband's also involved with the bookstore?
He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call a silent partner.
Well, you're an absent partner then.
Super silent. Almost inaudibly so.
Is she an only child?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Afraid?
A real
I'm
treat
afraid she
is.
won't be.
It would be nice if she had... No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really. Not in this economy.
Economy is fine. With your head, it's impossible to afford a child. Have to have some parental courses, maybe life courses, like no superstition courses, like no spirits courses, no bullshit courses.
A glimmer of sadness blinks through the well-crafted exterior.
Economy. Well, actually, why not?
We're quite busy people, you know, my husband and I.
Really?
Quite busy.
Do tell.
Children are a lot of work. You don't look like a father, so I don't expect you to understand.
Why? You don't look like a mother to me.
I'm sorry. I'm sure you do understand.
More than you think. She told me she doesn't go to school anymore.
She's been too busy helping me here. So she studied at home this trimester. This is a temporary solution, of course.
I thought she was like a single mother with a child, and that kind of explains the fact that she didn't go to school. But now she has a father who's really well off, and he's just ignoring this. I mean, I'm not surprised he's ignoring this woman, but like, why is the child not at school then?
I assure you, I of all people understand the importance
Oh,
of
you do.
education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes off.
Never, that means.
And hell freezes over? Never mind. It's not a good topic to get into.
It's a good topic to report to the child care authorities. And just, well, I mean, what can be done here? You can't just send a child into care houses, right? It's just worse there. Well, maybe they'll find a good tutor for this child, at least, and somebody who will shield her from her disastrous, catastrophical, calamitous influence from her mother. All right, had something else in mind. A lot of things.
The woman looks aloof, her features much softer. Occasionally she glances at her daughter's silhouette.
Silhouette, it is. You can lose her eventually. You will, actually.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't talk right now. I'm very busy with my homework. I have so much homework now.
Good child.
You just can't win. Out of the rain and into the gutter.
What do you do now?
Math. It's really difficult.
I agree.
Like, really. They say you need it to get rich. Better than standing outside in the cold, I guess.
Still can't figure out what dog breed she resembles. Spike from Tom and Jerry. But I didn't say that. I mean, judging appearances. We're not racist, right? Like 3 people in this game. I mean, the racist lorry driver, Measurehead, and then Gary, who stole this armor. So, trepidation towards math. I understand that.
Oh, I found something while you were away.
By the way, you need mathematics to get rich. Well, you need to take it seriously, not just need it. What is it?
I thought this would fit you.
Oh.
Like, thanks for helping out. Not me. The city, I mean. Like a detective does.
She gives you a hat, almost exactly like the one Dick Mullen wears on the covers. Wait, where did you get it?
Just what Dick Mullen would ask. I got it from behind the curtains. I'm not really supposed to go there.
It's a fedora.
Maybe. It's the hat Dick Mullen wears all the time. You'll look way more serious with that.
She grins with joy.
Right, I have to get back to my homework now, before Mum notices. Man, this is hard.
Study, study, good child. She looks back at the infernal scribblings under her nose. What infernal scribblings? No. Okay, bye. See you around, Annette. My heart is warming up a bit now after... Oh, we could buy board games, by the way. Board games. We have
small
money.
Mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages.
Why would I buy board
space
games,
seems
by
to
the
be
way?
taken up by Wirral-related merchandise.
What will happen if I buy a board game? How can I put it to profit or...
A small mountain.
Okay, let's buy. So, board game. Well, we have to find some stuff to do at night, right? Let's spend money.
If you say so, but you better stay away from those immoral occult rituals.
We bought 2 games. 2 board games. Spent a lot of money on that, but we don't have to buy for to pay for the room anymore because we can sleep in a shack. Speaking of the shack, we have to hurry back. Does she have to say something to us now? Hey, you.
What have you found?
Nothing. Not your business, as you said. We have to go to the village to talk to these 2 ladies about the documents they have to sign, and I want to know why they should sign them. What is that Everhard has in his mind concerning the village? For that, I guess we have to interact with the white envelope. White envelope with a stamp attached to the upper right corner handed to you by Everhard Clare. Inside are some legal documents with 2 names pointed on them. Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. Both signatures are required.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan in the addendum.
Let's look at the zoning plan. How do you get money in this game? Don't tell me you find it in trash tanks. Well, I find it in trash tanks. Secondly, I collect bottles and then give them to the machine on the wall in the shop, and I get coins for that. Thirdly, I got 100 real as investment from a capitalist who was really impressed by my investment plan that I got through conceptualization check. That was the 3rd, right? The 4th, conceptualization, no, sorry. Encyclopedia, every time it gets triggered, gives us 2 real, thanks to Wompty Dumpty Dom Center thought. Number 5, I could beg for money, but I don't, so that doesn't work, and it's not number 5. Number 5 is absent. 4 things to earn money only. Other things I don't do. I don't sell items because I want to keep artifacts. And yeah, that's how we roll. Look at the zoning plan.
The youth center cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great modern ship. Apparently, it's going to cover most, if not all, of the street and the square between the existing houses. It's 3 stories tall. It's going to be awfully close to the already existing buildings, almost wall to wall, practically integrating them into the youth center. This is either an ominous or cool architectural choice. Hard to say. My money is on cool. Looks like a cubic pyrite.
Kim, what do you think of this?
I'm no property lawyer, but it looks fine. I like the print size. They're not selling or leasing anything. It's not a perfect solution, but...
He replies, flipping through the documents and shrugs.
How else are you going to build something? It's always inconvenient to build things, and citizens inevitably have disagreements over such construction projects. But there's no other way.
Truth of life, what do you mean by that? I mean, what do you refer to? How I earn money, or how I actually don't earn money, or something else? I'm lost in thought now. This plan, can we somehow utilize it and take it to this capitalist, this traveler? What's that ball? What is it? I haven't... What? Have I seen them before? What are these? Maybe they block the road from cars. Sorry. So, could we take this plan and present it as our investment plan and get more money, and then we'll fool Evhard? We have to talk to these two ladies about it at the same time, but first thing first, inspecting it with logic. And I hope we pass the skill.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan.
Cool period. That's conceptualization, Tolkien. Ominous shape, centers very close to houses.
There is no loophole. The simple truth is the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door.
Wait, what are the ramifications of this?
Once the construction starts, it'll probably take a few months, a year maybe, for even the most stubborn occupants to get tired of living like this. After that, they'll sell their property for cheap and move out.
Okay, look, Kim, these people are going to have to move away. Can we do something about it?
I should have seen it.
Lieutenant frowns as he reads over the document again.
Evrard probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we'll already be gone.
We could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed, or you could forge their signatures yourself. Wait a second, why should I get other people even do it myself if... I don't want to finish this task. Let's talk to those ladies first. Can I fast travel now? No, I cannot. Does the map glitch? I have a feeling that it just glitches all the time, and it is impossible that I can't fast travel. I mean, it doesn't show me where I am, and it used to show, I remember. Fine. Okay, I have to concede. We'll just talk to those ladies. No problem. Oh, and we have the church to explore, by the way. The church is going to be huge fun. So first we talk to Lillian. I think her name is Lillian. Hey.
Hi, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
I'm looking for someone else, actually.
Oh? Who?
Nobody, sorry.
Okay. When did this person stay? Oh.
No.
Maybe I can help you find someone else.
I'm not looking for anyone else.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
I was asked to get your signature. Hand her Everard's envelope.
Were you? This says by signing, I agree to living with construction noise. What exactly is the Union building?
Everard's planning to turn some of the village into youth center.
What a nice idea. Wouldn't have thought that...
Her voice trails off.
She sounds incredulous about the niceness of the idea.
Thought what exactly?
That Everard and the Union have nice plans for anything. I thought they only cared about themselves. Well, I guess Union members have children too.
She shakes her head.
And those members have a vote when electing the head of the local chapter.
So will you sign it?
Aye. Why not? Fine. Here you go.
Why did you sign it?
I shouldn't have.
I've looked at the documents and no, you shouldn't have.
Yes, well, I looked at it and thought I should. Because it says youth centre, and I have my own children. I am, of course, just a stupid poor person, so what do I know?
Living with the construction noise is going to be a challenge.
Sure, but it's temporary and for a good cause, and I need to give the children something else to do.
What do you mean?
They're cute and small now, but they're growing up fast. Too fast. I had my first drink when I was 11 because I was so bored. Anyway, you'll have to get Isabel to sign it too. I saw the signatories. She won't if it's a bad idea. She's a much tougher nut to crack.
Sound logic. Division of labor. She leaves the skepticism to the skeptic. Sounds like Isabel is the leader around here.
Be seeing you. That's suspicious. Noise. Let's talk to Isabel. I don't know what she's gonna say. And oh, here she is. Hey.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
The signature.
Eh? What's this about? Come now, I can't read all this scribble. Tell me what it says.
Everett wants to turn part of the village into a little youth center.
Huh. I might be half blind, but it looks like part of the village is gonna be a street. The best part. The part we need to get out of our houses. I see Lillian's name is already here. The girl is too trusting. Either way, I won't sign union papers.
She hands the envelope back to you. What do you have against the union?
I've seen it all before. You think they've got our interests at heart? Rich men are always selling poor men promises they never plan to keep.
She pulls a dark red rag out of the bucket and puts it back.
Then the poor get pushed out of their homes and the rich get a little richer. That's the way it goes. So no, I don't trust the fat man, and neither should you.
In her mind, the Union is right-wing because Everard is fat. It's that simple, and there's no changing it. She is headstrong, but there's a slight hesitation in there. You may be able to convince her.
Needs to sign Everard's document. Why am I doing that? I mean, there must be some other... I don't like what's happening. Should we go back to Everhard and talk to him about that? Should we go to the light bending man, the capitalist, and talk to him about that? Maybe? Maybe that will give us more space for maneuvering? I think so. And the fast travel still doesn't work. I hate it. What am I doing wrong? Like, seriously. How to trigger this freaking fast travel? Yeah. Gaston Martin. Cool. Very nice. But... Maybe we'll be able to sell a better plan, I don't know, but how is it possible? And to create a problem for Evhart is dangerous in all ways. There must be some solution to this situation which isn't going to ruin the lives of the people in the village. I just can't see it now. Forging signatures is going to be even worse. Or is it like going to destroy their business plan eventually? How will they prove that? I mean, do they actually have to prove that at all? I'm not sure. We might try. Try like forging documents, and then that corrupts the whole plan. Let's enter the container and see if the man is still inside. I think he is. Hello, light-banded man. What do you have to say now?
Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
Nothing, apparently. You don't seem to be interested in this plan, apparently. Then Everard is the only option left. I wonder if villagers go to sleep at 9 o'clock. Are they still... No, I think they should be sleeping, because that is common sense. Like an old lady and a mother to 3 kids, they should sleep at night. They must. And probably the game will make it happen. So I don't have much time to talk to them. Still, Mr. Everhart, I have questions about your freaking plan.
Mr. Dubois, every worker, member of the board. How can I help you today?
I mailed the signatures you asked me to get. Mailed where?
You take the legal documents out of the envelope, a 12 to 40 month construction period, and the zoning plan in the addendum.
I'm going to check what happens if I lie to him.
No, you didn't. I know the mailman, Harry. I know everyone and everything that happens in this town, and I know there's no letter in that mailbox yet. Just like I know you'll get it done. Once you stop horsing around, let me know when it's done. By all means, Harry. What's on your mind?
And about this door?
A fantastic change of heart, Harry. Go talk to Manana down by the gates. He'll brief you and give you the key. Just open one little door. You don't...
I thought that quest was lost, but I don't want to know what it is, what is there. Anyway, I'm not working for him. So, what if I forge the document inside this place? I think it should be...
You take the legal documents out of the envelope.
People could be watching you here?
Construction period.
Where?
And the zoning
in the
plan
container?
In the addendum.
Are you serious? People watch me here in the container. With the light bending guy, they don't know the existence of. That gets annoying, you know? Maybe not annoying, but frustrating, definitely. Forging the document. Actually, throwing away empty bottles help these people to get some money for their children. Hence, when you collect bottles somewhere, a child won't get his 300 grams of bread for dinner. Well, that's why I changed my manner of earning money to being an intelligent person, having high encyclopedia parameter. I know a lot and get money for that. And I forgot there was the fifth method. It was clicking the green orbs, and that stopped because the thought that gave that bonus I discarded, and it's no longer active. I don't understand what I have to do with this plan. Don't want to complete the task because that feels so wrong. I mean, let's go and talk to this woman anyway, because I want to know what will happen when I fail. Not if I fail, but when, because I'm going to fail the persuasion check. So, envelope.
What's this about? Come now. Huh? Have you asked Lillian about this? I would even consider signing.
Okay, right. I see where it goes. Lillian, I have bad news for you. You shouldn't sign it. You should not. Must not. Please.
Hi, the
don't.
sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. Where are you? What a...
She sounds incredulous about the niceness of the idea.
Don't sign the papers.
Aye, if you say so. Probably better that way. I mean, who likes construction noise?
Yes. Forge the signatures, but somewhere private. Find someone to sign the document instead of the intended signees. That's bullshit. I'm not going to sign this shit. I'm not.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope...
That's it. I'm not going to finish this task. If Everard wants to have construction noise, he also has to care about the people who live in the village and not just make them leave the area like that, because it's just cruel, inhuman, and so let him figure out what to do himself. I'm ignoring the task. Maybe I'll have a better understanding of what to do later, who knows. Maybe I won't, but I'm not doing it. Inside the tent. Inside the tent there are some people, and in the church we have to explore these two locations which we haven't yet explored.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on,
Get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
It's safe to assume this is their leader, or at least he thinks he is.
No, wait a second. I need to change the clothes. My short has to be conceptualization, and my jacket has to be conceptualization. And where's my... Oh, whoa! Encyclopedia, Dick Mullins' hat, and Samaran conical hat gives us logic. No, I want encyclopedia. That gives us experience and money. And now we have one suggestion. What fun. One. That's a lot, don't you think? Cool. Everything in order. Composure, suggestion, conceptualization, I wanted to say. Drama, encyclopedia, electrochemistry, maybe Inland Empire and Volition, maybe not drama. Drama is what? 5. Ah. Eight Inland Empire. Let's keep drama for now. What else do we have? We have our horrific necktie, which gives us +1 Inland Empire. I got spoiled by encyclopedia and conceptualization, which give us 20 points of experience both in total, and I just expect something from other skills, like something to happen out of there, and nothing of course happens apart from just cool conversational options. The tent makes me to recall Frostpunk. Yeah, actually yes. That is very Frostpunkish. So we stick to drama, I think, just to keep the balance. So the tent.
Come on,
squeeze in.
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
Ah, he points his thumb to the lieutenant.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
Right, Kim.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
He gestures for you to squeeze in. No problem. Let's squeeze in and talk to those delinquents who are into music. Cool music, electronic, ambient music. Yeah! Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. I actually know a video on YouTube that... I'm staying here, guys. I'm sorry, I'm staying here. I'm just listening. Okay, I just have immense respect for such music, and my friend is a composer. He composes electronic music. Well, not the same, but kind of close, I would say. And what I have to also comment here is that I'd love to find this track. I think I will. Don't remember if Steam has some deluxe edition for Disco Elysium. I think they don't have this soundtracks album. I wish they had. The third thing, that guy who is sitting perched on some bags or whatever, on some canisters, and then he's sitting. Nobody listens to electronic music like that. I mean, you don't do this. It's for alternative, punk, metal, maybe rock, but metal actually no. You don't do this freaking gesture. What are you doing? You're supposed to be depressed, oppressed, and I don't know. You have to be blasted out of your mind and kind of going oblivious to the surrounding, and your eyes have to be blackened. Why are you so active? Why are you so lively? You shouldn't be. Mustn't be. That is one incorrect thing. But are they representing just different music styles? I don't know. Maybe I'm just too hasty about my decisions, but it's just, well, I just see that it makes me cringe. Such wonderful music is playing and he's behaving like a buffoon. That was number 2. The third, there is enough space for 2. Kim could have entered, actually. I don't know why they told that there's only one place for one. Anyway, to the conversations. Smells like sweat and laundry detergent, plus a trace of ether. Canisters filled with what appears to be water. The label says distilled. Sorry, I've been talking for 3 hours straight. A pile of nasal sprays, brand name Nosafet Ultra, and a speaker, the big kind they use for live music. So I can talk to each of them separately or to 3 simultaneously.
Go speak to Andre. I'm just annoyed.
A strangely dressed young man says without looking up from his toolbox, "What if I want to speak to you first?"
I suck at socialising, man. If you go speak to Andre, I'll have time to tune in, get a reading on your sign.
Before he's finished talking, he's already turned back to the tools. That makes sense actually. He will be given some space, some buffer to think about me as a person. I'll do that.
The young man picks up a thin metal saw blade and nods.
This one?
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Welshi tape player, nodding along to the music.
Nodding?
He looks at you with a knowing smile.
He's freaking
says,
shuffling.
As though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secrets.
Hardcore!
It's not hardcore. It's not hardcore.
It's hardcore!
No, it's not. You're just going keep saying it's hardcore, aren't you?
Skibbity, skibberdanger. I am the rearranger.
Oh, he's just... He is the touched. I see now.
Your cop training did not prepare you for this. What to do?
What do you mean? You know how to deal with psychopathic people? People who are...
Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
Solve the egghead puzzle? Excuse me. There has to be some way to talk to this person, just haven't found it yet. It's definitely not about science. What if you just try again, find your way out of this maze of things to say? Alright.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
There is definitely something futuristic about his hair, aggressively so. You get the sense that this is what the future will look like. Imbecilic, yes, Should the future ever come, it will look deeply imbecilic, like this guy.
Finally, a group of people who love the music I adore, and the game calls them imbecilic. That means I am imbecilic. That means I'm again reminded that I don't belong, usually, mostly, most often. 99% always. Shake his hand for the sake of this belonging.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse. Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
And Egghead. Egg!
The tape player high above his head continues to blast what is probably Nordic music.
Together with a settled burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
How many music venues have you organized?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
That means they haven't set up a single one yet.
Why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
There's no need, the place is pretty bad. Next time, watch yourself. Was there some... No. The place is pretty bad, it's okay.
Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
An attempt to pander to your perceived conservative sensibilities. No person his age would ever use a word like narcomania with a straight face. Don't fall for it.
Enough histrionics. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church. And I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads! Burnouts!
He angrily spits on a screw, then starts cleaning it.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revachol.
Strike that! The word!
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there were the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
I won't stand for narcomaniacs of any kind. No narcomaniacs on my watch. Shake your head gravely, or I feel like you may be laying this on a bit thick. What's really so bad about these dope heads and burnouts?
They're spooky.
What exactly do you mean by spooky, or spookiness is not a matter of police investigation? Yeah, the first option.
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge.
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse.
People just wanna spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
I'll make up my mind later. I have questions for you first.
All right, man.
He claps his hands enthusiastically.
With the sort of glee that's meant to imply you've already taken on the case.
What's the status of the church? I haven't gotten inside of the building yet.
I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. A padlock. It's a temporary fix. Just something to contain the situation.
This place is so cozy, I would like to live in this tent. Yeah, it's such a relief to see that.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
What about the key?
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
Only if he promises to look into the spookers in the church.
He looks at you gravely.
Officer, I apologise. Noid doesn't always understand the joy of giving for the sake of giving. I think it may have something to do with his childhood.
You can't coerce me into taking this on. I don't need the key.
Well, if you ever decide to change your mind, then we're here.
He taps the wooden
Just
crate.
ask me about the door again.
How long have those people been locked in there?
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
He shrugs. How can you be sure they haven't starved to death?
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
Andre, do you know what involuntary manslaughter means? Or 85% is not good enough when you're dealing with another person's physical well-being. 85% is good enough, no one lives forever, baby. The second.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. I guess it wasn't very hardcore of us to just lock them in like that.
Right, other questions.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it.
Who exactly are these people inside the church?
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
You haven't even seen them and you want the police involved?
Well, there's also the machinery.
This machinery is of the deeply mystical variety.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No, the other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
For this man, even regular silence is awful enough. But that was something greater.
You haven't physically seen anyone?
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone, or something, eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it.
The woman. Red hair maybe? A lorry woman?
Sure, why not? Yeah.
But not really. Brown hair. Old. Heavy, dark signs.
So which one is it?
What Noid said.
Ruby's gone. The woman is someone else. You have to see for yourself. These people are not reliable.
What was that about something watching you?
Like you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Not human? As in a ghost? Do you know what he means?
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crabman.
Crabman?
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behaviour.
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures, and not known for climbing walls.
Are you sure there was a crabman?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estelle was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
The implications of this are too numerous to consider. Proceed with caution. Learn all you can before entering that dark building.
Inland Empire? Talks common sense?
There probably is no crabman. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
Can you tell me more about this machinery?
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
So how can you be sure they're burnouts and dope heads if you haven't seen them?
Well, honestly, I can't, but I am.
This is a below-feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
You can't, but you do. I should add weaponized idiocy to my own repertoire.
Hey now, I'm 70% sure they're substance abusers.
He furrows his brow.
Don't let all that technology fool you. Where do you think the drugs come from?
He makes little quotation marks with his fingers when he says technology.
The gesture is super futuristic. Goes well with his spiked imbecile hair.
Alright, let's talk about something else.
Sure. What?
I know Noid has his signs, but what's the deal with Egghead there?
He's a quiet man, mostly communicates through music, and by being a master of ceremonies.
What's a master of ceremonies?
You know, a host, a declaimer of slogans. He's a performer, gets the people going.
Interesting, sire. A bit like you then. An MC for short.
How do you communicate with him?
Well, he's just kind of here. I don't really know how to communicate with him.
Have you ever really talked to him?
Yeah, sometimes. When I stumble and find my way into his centre, you have to hear a lot of hardcore to the mega first though.
The man smiles mysteriously, choosing to let the beat speak for itself.
You mentioned some kind ecclesiastes on the church. Who are these ecclesiastes?
Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Before we go on, what do you mean by meteoron?
You know, of Meteo, concerning Meteo.
Meteo.
Meteo, a country, on Muindi, on the Muindi Isla.
He looks at you, squinting his eyes to see if you are kidding.
One of the poorest of the first world nations today, but once a great ancient civilization. Capital, Tilakos by Percentic.
Oh, the founding party, I do know them, but can you refresh my memory? Or, now humor me, Andre, what is the founding party?
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organisation.
And
they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericarnassian Church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, made the Innocentic system, no?
Now, Andre, in your opinion, would this ancient religion organization who anoints the innocents want to clap for Nordic music in one of their churches?
Totally.
There isn't a trace of doubt in his voice.
The Pericarnassian Church is about love, and Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericarnassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance!
He violently shakes the tape player as if to see if he can break it.
Love is hardcore!
Unity! Unity!
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse!
He turns the volume up, then looks at you with a knowing nod, as if it's obvious you will now break into dance.
You feel it, the anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the bass, as if testing the waters.
No words, enjoy the beat, or don't quite understand what we're talking about. What's a pot? I guess love can be pretty hardcore. I now understand it was lame of me to suggest otherwise. Nordic music is about love, and so is the Pericarnassian Church. Or no, this is too much, no sane organization would want this level of absurdity in their church. I'll enjoy the beat first, like I did when I entered the tent.
Feels good.
I don't quite understand what you're talking about. What's a posse?
Your posse's like your people, man. Like you got your cup posse, you look out for each other and you party together. That's a posse.
And where is your posse, detective? Nothing comes to you. The world is silent.
Kim is my posse. It sounds like you're just saying random things. Laugh, posse, make noise.
Are we?
He looks at you mysteriously.
Yeah!
The one with large head really enjoys it when his friend gets mysterious. I guess love can be pretty hardcore.
Oh yeah, it can.
He's coming around. You're getting it.
He nods at his friend and turns to you with a mischievous grin. I now understand it was lame of me to suggest otherwise.
Yeah! Yakokata! The place to be!
He seems ecstatic that you share his vision of Pericarnassianism.
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
His friend forms a fist with a screwdriver still in his hand, approvingly so.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving. You feel like you could go for a little disco when, or if they get this club going. You've got it in you.
I wanted to ask you about this tent full of equipment.
Yes. What?
I see you brought your own water.
Yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water.
And is distilled too. He doesn't know what to say.
It's the one they sell at the fuel station.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of.
Hate to tell you, but it reeks of sweat in here.
It does, doesn't it?
Told you we have a smell problem.
He picks up a piece of telephone and cord and inspects it. Wait, I also smell ether. Why?
Ether? I don't smell ether.
Ether.
Do you, Noid? No.
It's mixed with a peculiar chemical scent, like laundry detergent.
He sniffs the air, then shrugs. It doesn't take a forensic scientist to guess it's drug-related. They look and act like the kind of guys who've done their fair share. However, their breathing is regular, their jaws stay put, and their pupils aren't dilated. So, not under the influence right now. At least, not under the influence of stimulants. That doesn't rule out hallucinogens, benzos, some depressants. How do you know all this?
What's with all the Nosafed?
The what now?
He leans to hear you better. Point at the bottles of nasal spray in the corner. The Nosafed Ultra. You have a lot of it lying around.
Oh, the old Ultra.
He's like an actor, looking to the souffleur for his line.
I have a major sinus infection. Stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter. Can't even breathe.
You sound fine to me.
Yes, that's all Nosafed's doing. Without the Noser, I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Nosafed is the shit.
Can I have some?
Sure. Here you go, officer. The Noser. Blast away.
Alright, enough of this.
He nods enthusiastically. No doubt, a little
logic. I
You can
think...
always come ask for the key to the church if you change your mind. Keep it cool, officer.
He winks at you. I have a hunch that they are going to produce drugs and they just need a place for that. Is he really nodding? Is just not just stand still as always. Stop. Oh, really? You mean my character was nodding? I didn't notice that. Cool, thank you, man. I failed to perceive. I want some logical hat now. Back to Samurai conical hat. And I think there was something else improving logic. Flip up glasses the auditor, but that will remove our encyclopedia, so let's keep it this way.
Hi again. Have you changed your mind? You changed your mind, right?
Maybe everything isn't quite as you've been told. Take a moment to analyze.
A number of things don't add up. Let's take a look. How about gather around, kids?
Okay, kids, now gather around.
The young speed freak puts down a busted capacitor and looks at you. The one with the large head seems very enthusiastic about whatever you have planned. Their would-be leader is less amused.
Sometime in the past, I'm not sure when and where, but betrayal was involved, I felt sick and became the shadow you see now. Before that, have reason to believe I was a police detective.
But you still are.
Thank you for your kind words, but everyone in here sees I'm a disgrace to the uniform.
What happened?
Egghead looks serious suddenly. Disco happened or I smelled so impossibly sweet or life tore me a new asshole. I did. I happened to myself. I don't know. I happened to myself.
That's a real downer.
He shakes his head, his large head. Now, obviously, that might as well have been 1,000 years ago, but there is still some detective left in me.
The young speed freak is silent. He senses something is wrong.
You're sober. Was it hard for you to keep sober for this meeting, or this isn't the making of a club, it's a tent full of laboratory equipment for manufacturing drugs? The first.
We don't need drugs to be hardcore.
Shut the fuck up, Egg.
Maybe not today, Egg, but you need drugs to get through the days when you're not expecting me.
Climb down from the equestrian monument, cop man. Consciousness is new to the universe. We all have our ways to ease the shock.
Bottom line is, I know.
What exactly is it you know?
This isn't the making of a club, it's a tent full of laboratory equipment for manufacturing drugs.
I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers.
He points to the speaker.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
Where is his friend? Did he lose his friend?
What do you mean, friend?
The other speaker, you have only one.
It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction in anodic music. Other speaker.
This may be the brain damage talking, but you've definitely never heard of monodynamic or one-speaker systems.
I guess he can talk again. He looked like Gandalf from Meme. I'm missing messages. You have no headphones. Wouldn't a cell need her headphones to spin tape?
What do you know about spinning tape? Nothing.
I know you pawned them, likely for lab equipment and drug ingredients.
I'm sorry, but there is no lab equipment and no drug ingredients.
That Nosafed is here for its active ingredient.
He said it was for his nose. What more do you want?
Likely pseudoephedrine, almost exactly the shape of ephedrine. Ephedrine makes you happy, and so does pseudoephedrine.
The distilled water, cornerstone of a clean lab.
And of all cellular-based life, what's your point, Lawbringer?
The ether in the air, a useful solvent, good for getting actin agent out of a solution.
Make up your mind. First it's the sweat, then it's the ether.
He smiles nervously. There's no need for me to pile on anymore, is there?
No shit.
He sounds tired. In short, you tried to use a police detective to set up a drug lab.
That's... Come on, that's...
Against the law?
I meant to say, not true.
So what are we going to do with you?
What do you mean, do?
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing.
We do this Slowman style. First you tell me everything, then I pass judgment, or you tell me what's really going on and we'll work from there. Can be lenient. I don't really care, just wanted to correct the case. Do what you want, I'll do what I want. The first.
All else?
There is an audible clank as he lets a wrench drop into his toolbox. Or else I'll call back up and haul you all off the pan for starters. Or my cut will be 100%, haven't you heard? I'm the dirtiest cop this side of the river? No threats, we'll see, now speak.
He thinks for a moment, then opens his mouth, but closes it again. Then finally raises his hands.
Things are just way too hard for an entrepreneur in this city. It's not like we're not going to turn the church into the wickedest club in East Revershoal.
Because we are! We totally are!
We just got to turn it into a speed lab first.
You know, to get our foot in the door.
And why do you need me?
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now it's all spooked up.
Not really spooky, are they?
No, man. They're spooky, all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed in there.
But the sign was way off, too. I couldn't feel the love at all.
Whatever you think is right, sir. But please, we were only trying to make a living.
This is it. Judgment time.
Give me your cash, ask for a bribe first, pack up and report to Precinct 41, arrest them, get lost and don't want to see you again, evict them. Let's do this clean, no speed lab, just a club for Nordic music. Proceed with the club. It wouldn't work without the lab. Do what you have to do to keep the club alive. Music.
Yeah!
The young man's smile widens to human proportions. His teeth beam in the floodlight.
He looks almost innocentic, with that Harmon Wowshy player raised up high. Could this be the certainty a spirit of the world feels?
I knew it.
The would-be leader drops his spiked hat between his knees.
It's impossible now.
No, Andre, it's harder now. This hard cop has come to show us how much the fish is, and the fish is always so much more. We all know there was never going to be a club for Nordic music with the Speed Lab. Now it has a fighting chance.
Preach. Or so there was never going to be a club in there.
There needs to be a club for Nordic music in there. Needs to. Everyone hates each other. Everybody hates it here. It's all just drugs and we're slaves and I can't. We are running out of time. We need a win, Andre. I promise this will be a win. We won't cook speed in there. We'll do it clean. We'll do it true. We'll do it sober and real and beautiful. This will be a victory for the light.
Right. Let's call this incident crime prevention, but I have my eye on you.
Okay, we'll try to do it without the drugs.
He raises his head from between his knees.
We'll do a straight club up in there, spinning the maddest reels, and nothing but, I swear to God. Okay, Egg?
From here on, it'll be straight all the way.
That's it for now?
Oh, you should have the key. We had to padlock the door to the church to keep more vagrants from wandering in. Noid, give the officer the key.
Give me the key.
All right.
The speed freak dips in his belt pack and produces a yellow key. He then makes a sudden, cool infused move, tossing it in your general direction. Let it fall to the ground, then pick it up like a normal adult person, or reaction speed.
It's as if time is frozen somehow. You think you can sense the key moving in the air. Yeah, this is going to be way cool.
Don't ruin the cool by overdoing it. Raise your hand in front of your face with minimum effort. Damaged health. Okay.
Blam! Straight in the eye. Straight in the old eye orb. In the looking ball. A stabbing pain. Tears stream uncontrollably from your right eye.
Ouch! What's wrong with you? Can't you see I'm in pain now?
Man, I'm super sorry. That was totally my bad. I got overexcited. Threw him too hard. I'm sorry.
He looks like he's genuinely sorry. He didn't throw them better.
I'm sorry. Bend your face in mockery of his useless contrition. You almost murdered me, a cop. That's use of lethal force.
I really
What?
am sorry, man.
Why?
Just take this, okay?
Why are they giving me these lines only? I don't want to be like this bitchy. He pulls out some black paper from his belt bag.
Wow, looks like there's quite a lot there.
I don't need your pity money. Now, where were we?
The key?
The key.
He is shifting in his spot, uncomfortably, still feeling sorry for the mishap.
As always, we'll be right
And
here.
that's
waiting
why
patiently for the news.
That's why I laud the game all the time, because I mean that is just so. I mean, being miserable is one story, but making other people miserable, that's not why I play games. Noid.
So you had a talk with Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Noid?
I do. He's stooped over his toolbox as usual, shuffling bolts around angrily.
That's fine, man. But I've got to warn ya, our signs are still off. It'll take some time for me to get my sign on.
But I thought we'd be okay now, sign-wise.
I'm doing what I can.
He continues to arrange his tools.
It's not easy for him. It probably took him years to get used to Andre. He looks like a well-thought-out individual. The synchronization might be worth it in the long run.
Tell me about the machines you saw in the church.
Weird stuff. Specialized. There was a data processor and some sort of long-wave machinery. Wires going into water. Gives off a spy sign. Or some fucked-up Samaran science sign. You know, the kind that goes head first into the supernatural.
The People's Republic of Samara is a product of Revachel's sister revolution on the Grad Isola. It's known as a severely degenerated rogue state.
What's wrong with the supernatural?
Nothing's wrong with it. You should definitely be researched. You can still do sick shit with it though.
The sickest. That's perhaps why it should be researched.
The supernatural, so you think it's real, that it actually exists?
Most of it doesn't exist. But there's also stuff that isn't allowed to exist. Because the moralists think it's too dangerous for the plebs.
Actually, I like this guy, and that's why I feel particularly disappointed that I made him disappointed in this key accident.
Psionic powers, pale-related diseases, pretenders pretending to be human, folk rights, that kind of stuff.
Why are they called Noid?
The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed with the law at this moment.
He picks up some sort of widget.
It's not easy to reach a harmonic resonance of signs without some adjustment.
Okay, I'll come back later. And this guy?
The young man with...
This is hardcore.
Say nothing.
Hardcore!
Still say nothing.
Hardcore to the mega!
Say nothing.
Internally coherent!
Still say nothing.
All core! Alright! Yeah!
Say nothing.
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music in the very real air of the stuffy tent.
Have a nice time. Must go to sleep. See you, man. Thank you for coming. And I'll be playing maybe in a couple of days. Tomorrow I have a meeting with my students in my flat, so see you around. And yeah, thanks again for coming and for your commentaries, especially for that fry bar joke. Yeah, and for Uncle Stepa reference.
Hardcore! Ah!
He lets out an agonized roar over the feeblish, obviously not too hardcore beat blow. So hardcore.
Is it though?
He stops dead in his tracks, tilting his head to the side. It is!
But is it? I mean, really?
He tilts his head to the other side like an owl.
Feels like you should reply with the very pinnacle of idiocy here, so that things get totally transcendent. But you haven't gotten there yet, so you don't know what to say.
I was thinking that too.
I am the mic enforcer. I am the chick's checker. Yeah!
So he
Back to the heavyweight. Hardcore! It's hardcore!
don't know what to say to that.
Skibber-dee, skibber-danger.
Your cop training did not prepare.
Okay, let's try again.
Vikla, true.
Say nothing. Is it? I mean, really?
This young man adds a capital G before the H in his yegs and args. This produces a guttural, Gotwaldian accent and makes him sound more animal, more in it.
Okay.
Or maybe it's not Gotwaldian. Maybe it's Oranese. Probably an homage to Oranje, where Arno van Eyck is from, judging by his name. Could you be listening to an Arno van Eyck creation right now?
So this is the famous Van Eyck I'm hearing.
You know about him?
He moves his mouth, but sound doesn't come out. His eyes are the size of saucers. Looks like you've rendered him speechless.
You know Van Eyck?
Yeah, I'm a Major Ike head.
Wow!
The skinny wraith looks at you with some disbelief.
So am I! So am I!
He begins to shake his head so everyone would understand.
Oh! Is that why they call you Egghead? Because...
Andre almost falls over backward from the realization.
Egghead to the mega! The K became the G! The boy became the man! The Advent?
What?
We're close.
Says the young man with the tape player and the large Bordero boots. Lunch-shaped trees sprout on his silver belt buckle.
True, hard, full, car!
Say nothing.
This young, or maybe it's not.
Yeah.
The Y to the E to the A 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 to the G to the H to the exclamation mark! Yeah!
He missed one A.
You missed an A there. I yelled mine with 6 A's, so you have to yell at 6-2, or you missed an A there, but that's okay, I'm a pretty lenient cop.
It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice.
True.
Say nothing, say nothing.
Internally coherent.
About the Vernon Rags.
Good morning, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yakokata, the place to be.
What is Yokokata?
Yakokata is a hardcore place.
An intricate system of irrigation.
Hey, where's my experience check?
Intermittent seas of phosphorus mud.
Bug.
Ripped tarpaulin fluttering in the wind. A pair of molten rubber boots also comes to mind. All in all, a truly hardcore place.
Alright. Conversations with him.
Vikla, true, hard, full, car.
Say nothing.
Hardcore.
Say
Hardcore
nothing.
is a mega.
Alright.
Here comes the night.
That was a dead end.
Vikla, true, hard,
Say nothing,
hardcore,
nothing.
Internally coherent.
This one?
Good morning, yeah! 1, 2, 3!
The case.
It's the message, so listen and you will see. No illusion, the spirit is what you feel.
Okay. Nothing. What are you doing?
Gotta get the people going.
What?
I'm the party boy. It's my job.
I think I'm also a party boy.
2 on the track. Watch your back. Watch out for the heart attack.
He sounds like Scooter actually now with his rhymes.
Coherent. All car. All right. Gotta
Okay,
get the
dude,
people
I
going.
see.
Yeah. Request. I want everybody as close to the stage as possible. Vic, true.
Say nothing. Nothing. What you're doing? Why? What is a party boy?
Hardcore party 25/7 beyond the winter's orbit style.
There is a place far away in Cutler, beyond a certain latitude, known as Winter's Orbit, where there are 25 hours in a day. It is a tremendously cold place, abandoned to drunks and failed rock stars, full of Eternite, depression, and half-finished ski-flying hills. The Suru live there.
Okay. We are close.
We're close. True.
Nothing.
He furrows his brow.
Hardcore.
I'm a little worried it isn't.
The question is, what is the question?
That would have been good if I had asked you a question, but I didn't. Now it's just idiotic.
But there was a question?
That's really intricate.
He furrows.
The question
Isn't-
is, what is the question?
Just answer the question.
But there was no question.
Got it.
Vic, true. Internet all car.
He furrows his.
So hardcore.
Is it though?
I was just thinking that a moment ago.
One mind, one spirit. There's no other world. There's no other life.
I think we've exhausted all the...
True, hard, full, car. It's hardcore. Skibberdee.
Your cop train.
Have I exhausted all the
Your cop
options?
training.
Yes, I think I have. Alright, and let's check Andre.
Hi again.
Nothing to
As
say.
always.
Yeah, and he? Noid?
Huh?
Nothing to tell us. Okay, let's leave. That was too much ambient electronic. Too much. I mean, it was good, but I think I'll hear this song while sleeping in my ears. Just burnt into my brain. Help ravers at nightclub, sing the signs with Noid, solve the egghead puzzle. But I think... I think I've exhausted all the options and nothing worked. Hey, where's the... No, she's here. Okay. I think, guys, that's where we save the game, because it's been quite a stream. A lot of things done. And I maybe wasn't the most coherent today, especially closer to the end. But it was solid 3.39 hours, and yeah. Thanks for staying with me. I'll be streaming soon, not tomorrow, but soon. And good luck with all your hardcore in life, and listen to good music. Find a place you belong to. Have no spooky things. And that's it. Hello to YouTube. See you. Bye. And thanks.